and ahoy once again to ye mateys! I be coming out of my cage and I've been doing just fine. Got a DM because I'm Josh the Pirate, and it brings me a bigger thrill than a pair of bicycle manufacturers on the 17th of December 1903 to welcome you back to Corsair's Cove and another episode of my Humblewood world for some more of Elements and Evil. With me, I have my hearty crew. It started out with a kiss. How did it end up like Daria Shadenova? Now I'm falling asleep, and she's calling John Best while she's having a smoke, and she's taking Karen Schlink. Now they're going to bed, and my stomach is sick, and it's all in my head, but she's touching his Brandon Ellis. So let's talk about these lovely folks, shall we?
That's very good.
Thank you.
The chaos levels were high.
Just going to tweak that. There we go. There we are. Because that's why I was going, oh, damn it, because it wasn't pointed at me and I only realised then. Good morning from the UK. Hey, Baz Hat. Happy Halloween to you as well. Not something we do particularly much in Australia, but Karen's wearing a fancy hat.
I am. Mainly because my hat
is
hair
quite
is
blurry.
Mainly because my hat hair is criminal at the moment.
Sorry, I'm trying to get you in focus. You're not.
Focus.
Okay, damn you. Being weird today. Can you scooch in maybe closer to the camera?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to be able to do that.
Hang on, I'll stand, you slide. Sorry, I've got a
I don't
dog.
know if that got any better.
I've got a dog on me as well.
Yeah.
Why are you no focus? You're like me when the meds wear off.
Soon, in other words. Daria, who the absolute heck are you?
My name is Daria. I'm an artist and I play Julio Switchgear, and I'm very excited. And I hope everyone's having a good Halloween if yours already.
Excellent. John, who the heck are you?
I'm John. I play Bron. Been a performer for a long time. Yeah, I just about finished my degree. Hooray!
Yay!
Degree in what?
A Bachelor of IT in software development.
Nice.
Karen, who the heck are you? Hey, Tony.
Good evening, my pretties. I am Karen, aka the biggest witch in this party. And I am a performer, a writer, an internet addict. I can be found here, usually on Tuesday nights, unless I get a massive headache and cry off, which happens, you know, life. And usually here on Thursday nights, playing Kesh Glitterweave. And I think that's all I have to say on that matter. I'll get you, my pretties. And I got little dice too.
Siri just looks up at her like,
Siri's very
what the fuck
upset
are you
now.
doing? And Brendan, who the heck are you?
Good day, my pretties. I'm pogging off. I'm Brendan. I'm an actor and director. I feel like Josh is.
I don't know
doing
what he's
something.
doing back
I'm just, it's focused more on the chair than you.
there.
Oh, I
How
see.
dare it focus
It's
on
nothing
it.
to do with me during my
Wait,
segment.
hold up. I never noticed that you have Corsair on the back of your chair. That's badass.
It's just never been a problem before.
Why? Should we turn it off and on again?
It's
Josh didn't hear anything.
no, not a word.
No, I'm
No.
sure it was very funny.
Sorry,
We're
Brendan.
appreciating the Corsair on the back of your chair.
Yeah, we were talking about the Corsair written on your chair. I
It's a
never
real
noticed.
shame that I'm far too small fish for them to sponsor us.
One day.
Yes.
Yet.
Yet.
Anyway,
Gonna
that's
turn that
me.
off.
Hello.
Oh yeah, Brendan was speaking, I guess. Oh.
So one of those nights, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it might be a dirty lens. Could try that. Doubt it.
I'll
I'm
dirty
like-
your lens.
I'm like, I have freaking witch makeup on and no one can appreciate it right now. This is unfair.
Or a very dirty Karen. Well, could be.
I am very
always.
sweaty.
Filthy.
Halloween takes place in
Here, let me do it because you can't point it at yourself.
crying.
So very
Oh
trying.
boy.
Doesn't help that I've got a
Spooky
cereal on me.
Halloweeny bickering.
Let's have the
Ooh.
skill check.
Actually looks better.
I'm still out of focus. What the hell?
A very soft focus. And I be Josh the Pirate. You can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I run D&D and other RPG-related games with the lovely wife Karen, the mother of bunnies, and all my splendid friends. But you know that. You've done it. You're here. Thank you. Good on you, champions. For those who are curious, I wonder if any of you actually know the bicycle manufacturers on the 17th of December. Yes, John?
Is it perhaps the Wright brothers?
It is
making the first plane?
indeed. It was. That was the first flight of the Kitty Hawk Flyer, the first powered flight of any aircraft in the world. The Wright brothers, exactly right. Treasure or watchful wizard. Well,
I know that because my brother's response to 2 wrongs don't make a right is yes, but 2 rights make a plane.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's very good. There are 2 anecdotes about it that I hecking love. The first of all is that they actually technically flew 3 days earlier, but they only flew about 130 feet, so they didn't count it. They were like, oh, that was barely like they flew 105 feet rather on the 14th. Which is less than the wingspan of a 747. So they didn't count it. They were like, we could do better than that before we go and tell everybody. So they had 4 goes on the 17th, and the final one was just under 1,000 feet. They did 852 feet in just under a minute. In 59 seconds they were airborne for, which is pretty bloody good. And then it was all the landings were a bit rough. So the final one, actually, it was so rough, all of the front canards just broke. And they were like, don't worry, we'll fix it and fly it home. And they were going to, they really were, until a particularly strong gust of wind blew the entire thing up onto its back and it just destroyed itself. That's how sturdy this vehicle was. But they
Come so far.
It has been repaired. Orville took it home and repaired it over the next few weeks, and it is now in the National Air and Space Museum in the US.
Oh.
But it was for quite a long time in the Science Museum in London, and there was a massive fight over it in the 40s. Which is also lovely.
Please tell me that they were physically fighting.
I wish
that would be amazing.
But my favorite factoid about this particular event is that the New York Times published on the 9th of October 1903 an editorial saying that it would be between 1 and 10 million years before powered flight worked. It took less than 3 months after that.
I'll show you.
And what was really funny, it was in direct response to Samuel Langford, I believe it was, who failed. He had his own plane and he thought it might work, and it didn't. So they were ripping the shit out of him. And I was like, why a million? I think the editor of the New Yorker at the time, or the New York Times, didn't know really how long a million years is, because recorded human history is only 6,000, and we've gone from stone tools to fucking automobiles in 1903 in under 6,000 years.
Did they have to make a retraction? Did they have to?
I think they did. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I didn't look at it, but I think a retraction was made on the subject. So there you are. I thought it was a rather fun one, and it was in my head recently because I saw one of an Instagrammer I quite like tell a story about Wilbur Wright, who was apparently quite a tall and strapping, handsome. He got accepted to Yale, but he didn't go because he was playing hockey in the street with a bunch of neighborhood lads at about age 17 or 18, and then one of the bullies of the neighborhood smashed his teeth in, and he lost his 2 front teeth. And he got really depressed and he lost a lot of self-esteem about it. He didn't go to Yale. He eventually started a printing press company with his younger brother. It really worked out. Then they started bicycle manufacturing, and then they invented powered flight.
Really?
If it wasn't for some dickhead bully with a hockey stick, we wouldn't have the flight. Or we probably would, but it would have been slightly later. 5 or 6 other people managed it in the next couple of years. It was all just a race to the finish. So there we go. Mateys. I also remind our jealous, swimming through sick lullabies and possibly even eager-eyed audience to please follow, and subscribe to all the things, you bloody champions. We have all the exclamation mark socials.
Did we even get through John and Karen talking?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you not paying attention to us?
No, I was just so impressed by the
not
right
listening.
trivia that I
No.
couldn't get everything
No,
before
no.
that.
John remembered who the Wright brothers were. That's why we went back to John. But yeah, we did actually listen to everybody.
I like that. You heard it here, folks. Just get your teeth knocked in and you'll finally make it. That's where I went wrong.
Yeah.
No one has knocked my teeth out.
I've
except
lost half a
chicken
front
sandwich.
tooth. I've lost half one of my front teeth. So yeah, it's a replacement.
Josh, commit. Fucking commit. What is this half-assing of
It was
losing your front
it was a
tooth?
particularly good way of losing it as well. You know, one of those little granddad scooters, like you see the old people. Well, my granddad had one. My great grandfather had one. The speedo went from turtle to hare, and I set it to hare just out of curiosity at about age 10 on my grandparents' driveway. Flicked the pulled the power on, and it shot off. Terrified myself, slammed on the brake, smashed my head into the handlebars. And
Damn.
it was gravel, so a small piece of tooth lost in gravel. We thought we found it, took it to the dentist to get it reattached. Nope, it was gravel.
Nice.
They were like, look, we could, but it would be a bit weird. And I said, it'd be stronger, though.
That's very good. Just exchange your teeth for gravel and just
Yeah.
be done with it.
So I need to
Okay.
invent gliding soon. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Hey,
you
hey,
haven't lost all
yeah.
of your teeth, just a little bit. So
Hey, Josh, can you do me a second?
I'm not punching your teeth
Could,
in.
no, could you pull up the settings for my webcam because it's driving me crazy.
Live
that
on
I'm
stream.
blurry.
Yeah.
It's like I need you to
Oh,
knock my teeth
also,
out.
while they do that, Avis, thank you so much for 1,000 bits to the channel.
Yeah, good on you, champion. Thank you. It's very
thank
kind
you.
of you.
We promised to buy an earphone splitter.
Yeah.
yeah, yes, I agree.
I don't. It's very. And I don't really know how to fix it.
Configure video.
Configure video, but I don't think I can configure focal length,
Oh,
which is the problem. It's not
Why
gain
isn't
or
it-
white balance.
this is so rude. I am offended.
Temperature, exposure, zoom. Not new a bit, maybe.
Man refuses to beat his wife. Wins best husband award. It was a low bar.
Hooray!
yeah.
It's like I'm looking for a man in finance who doesn't beat me.
It won't even let me do anything to these settings.
I'm glad you finished that sentence. Won't even let me.
Do anything. Amusingly,
Beat
looking at the
Karen.
wider section of it, it's actually quite nicely focused on me.
Well, that's no good to anybody.
What if we move it closer to Karen? Oh, that's better. That's immediately better.
That's a weird angle.
It's a
though.
really unflattering angle, but
Yeah.
it is.
right up my nostril.
There you are. There you go.
I'm still not in focus. It's
soft.
just less blurry. Oh, it flickered there.
I think it's too dark. I think that might be.
This
the
is totally normal lighting.
I know. This is nothing has changed about the setup.
The webcam just hates. It's offended by my Halloween attire. This is what's happening.
Yeah. And now I'm dark.
It's anti-Halloween.
Well, look, there we go. We tried. Never mind. So,
Fated to be blurry.
fated to be blurry. And I'm all dark and moody. This is perfect. This Halloween. So I actually quite like this.
Mm-mm.
Give me those sexy. So who was that? Who was that inspiration for? I imagine Brendan, because he's the only one who hasn't got one. Thank you, Tony.
Yes. Yeah.
Good on you, champion. And we also have a YouTube. That's what I was doing.
Oh, we've got that far.
And a Discord, if you want to come and hang out with us there. As long as you're not an artist that is just looking for, like, followers and commissions. Because we've already got an artist who's looking for followers and commissions. She's here, she's good.
I was about to be in the rage. I'm like, do I
I
need
was
to
like, no,
fuck
it's
off?
some random called Artfinity. It was like, hey, and then immediately starts just spamming people. I'm just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
fuck off.
Calm down.
Spammers.
Off
Spammers.
you go.
I'm like, there's rules here. You've got to chill for a while, maybe
yeah,
post
maybe
a meme
make
or
some
two,
friends. Yeah.
introduce us to
I
your cat.
deserved my right to spam you guys. I
That's
I
it.
worked for it.
You earned that right.
Absolutely. We are affiliated with a couple of wonderful groups of folks. Wooten Forge Gaming Accessories, creators of WA and possibly even the world, though I have no guarantee that that is in fact accurate. I have not done my due diligence on that claim. Possibly even the world's finest handcrafted wooden tabletop accessories, like this gorgeous Jarrah Dice Keeper. Yeah, you can check out their wonderful things at wootenforge.com/Corsairs Cove. And we're also affiliated with Trolllord Games, who are splendid beings that create the Castles and Crusades system. Check out their website, trolllord.com. Yeah, you can check out all their wonderful goodies there. Sirenscape has been providing the music until very recently. It stopped, but it will come back. It'll be back. Now, we need a bit of a recap because some stuff happened last week, as usually does. Daria, what happened last week?
The gang finally got the artifacts, the magic items that would allow them to travel into the death plane, and they did. And each and every single one of them was met by Julio, their good old friend Julio, who is very honest and loving and caring. And because he's so caring, he talked to every person one-on-one and discussed that maybe they should fuck off and they should not go to the death plane. And none of them heard his warnings. None of them cared. All of them were like suspicious about Julio, which honestly is very hurtful and offensive. But here we are. They all just said nah, and I guess they said on the death plane. And it turned out that the cool and handsome Julio was actually a little bit less cool and handsome than usual because he was just an impersonator of their friend, done by the same void elemental, creature that was talking to them a few days ago, or yesterday, so beforehand on the material plane, talking about not getting in the way of the death plane. So it's the same creature, and it was trying to get them away from the plane, but they didn't, and they tried to find Julio. Meanwhile, Julio was talking to Raleigh and trying to figure out how to get her off this plane. She mentioned that she did not go there by her own volition, nor did she just simply die. So something else happened. We don't know the details yet. She also mentioned that there's more creatures like her stuck in the death plane for some reason. And Julio was trying to find a way to get her out of there. He was channeling his energy into Raleigh to help her get out. And basically the party and Julio and Raleigh met up when they were coming out of the barrow. And now all of us are together. Yippee!
Completely correct. Thank you very much. So, mateys, may the doors you open close behind you, and none of them lead to a plane of pink mist and lies, as we head tremulously at first, and then with mounting heat and passion into the Humblewood. So yes, as Daria very accurately reminded us, we return to the plane of death and a barrow beside a lake where the gang has just reunited after Julio has demonstrated exceptional loyalty but questionable survival instincts to a former flame. Cash has mistaken him for an illusion. Eric has pointed out how stupid he is, and Bron has made the argument-winning observation that he must be the real Julio because if he doesn't know what catapults are. So, what do you do?
Leave. Let's leave.
I mean, with Julio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not just bye.
Cash is still looking at
Saw
Julio.
him. Bye.
Cash is still looking at little sus sight and is like, are you 100% sure that that's the real one?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can see if you look at the gut, it's a bit bigger. So
What?
I've noticed that he's put on weight recently. So
I'm bulking. Okay, I'm bulking. It's called bulking. When I'm gonna cut, this shit's gonna be wild. I'm gonna be like twice as wide as you in my shoulders. Okay.
Raleigh.
Right.
Anyway,
Raleigh
Wow.
goes, if anything, I think he is looking thinner than he has in years.
Yeah, you can see through him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a shadow of his former self, which is a problem.
no, I'm just on keto. Okay, guys, calm down. Calm down.
Okay, so can we just leave? Is it that simple? Do we just go back through the hole in the tree and we're fine?
So Riley was talking about the fact that she got here not because of dying. She got like yoinked into this plane, and also she mentioned that there's more creatures here. Do you guys have
People.
like a reliable way to go back and forth, or is it like one-time thing?
Unfortunately, yes, we do have a reliable way to go back and forth.
Is it
Thankfully, Cash has put
Then-
down a little circle outside, not a little, a large circle
Okay.
outside to prevent things. But yeah, we weren't expecting that.
We also weren't
Mm.
expecting
Okay,
it
so-
to stay open, so that is potentially.
No
So
problem.
they can't follow us out if they want to.
They can, but as long as Kesh's circle is surrounding the exit, they won't be able to go further than that. But we don't have a lot of time.
It's only good for an hour.
Okay. Julio will turn to Riley and say, "So, do you remember anything about what happened when we tried to bring you back? What would happen to you?"
I don't know. I
I
hopefully
have a
will be
theory on
fine.
that.
You? Is it a good one or a
Yes.
scary one?
Well, it's not great for Raleigh. Either she will be immediately returned here because she doesn't have as it has been put, a vessel to return to, or she will stay in our plane, but will exist only as a death elemental. Possibly
Oh.
that would be a ghost, possibly that would be something worse. But either way, it wouldn't be the Raleigh that you have known, Julio. But if we can find her a vessel, then that may rectify the issue, but that has its own implications. And if you're saying that there are more people in this circumstance, then that would mean requiring finding a vessel for all of them.
So they won't just immediately like pop back to wherever their body is in the real world.
If
Yeah,
the
that-
body is dead,
Oh.
I don't know what happens to our body if you leave it for
It
too
might
long.
turn them into undead.
Can we get a temporary vessel for her?
What is that?
Hmm.
Like
Huh.
a
jar
box?
of
Like
spirit
how does that
vomit.
work?
Eric would have heard. It was, I think, probably relatively well reported. Eric and Kesh would certainly have heard about the creation of a mechanical body for a hero adventurer,
Yo!
Helvig Dewpoint, who is now Helvig Anvilwrought. He is the only Warforged in the world at the time, but
We'll put her in Steven.
Oh my god!
That's actually exactly what I was thinking.
Yes.
she goes,
Do you like
"What is
shooting guns?
Stephen?" I do love shooting guns.
I like to
Well,
think that
we
Bron
have
just steps aside and gestures to the deep fryer on legs with a gun.
She sort of her brow, like, I recognize that. Did you take that from Scops?
Maybe. Yes.
I took it from Julio, who gave it
No,
to me.
the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still haven't shot it once, but it's coming. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna be
so
amazing.
soon.
It's gonna be so good. So good.
I bet that's not the first time you've heard that, Riley.
How
How dare you.
she for all that she is being told essentially that she's probably dead for real, she does actually look just not. She doesn't laugh, but she does like look at Eric quickly and smile before turning back to Bro and like back on point. How many of these? What is this? Do you have?
Well, just one for now. It does take some pretty pricey gems to run. yes, I've never done it before hosting a soul.
Do you think that the soul would be able to work as an energy source instead of the gems?
I
Well, would it
mean,
feed on her soul? I don't want that.
yeah, no,
Um,
I don't.
Okay.
Bron, you can make an intelligence check. I don't think you'd have proficiency with this, so let's just call it a straight intelligence check.
Sure.
Is
Yeah.
this possible, or are we about to make a deep fried mistake?
That is a nat 20.
Nat 20 for
Nice,
25.
Let's fucking go.
It would work for a short time.
Okay.
It would potentially work for a very short time. It wouldn't work like the anvil wrought thing. They would have had to use some psychoactive materials, some psychically resonant metals and stuff to build that. You did not do that because it's exceptionally rare and valuable. Like they had to use about 10,000 gold pieces worth of halvesite to build this body. Fortunately, they had a they were able to negotiate a deal with the person who has the only mine for the stuff on this continent, because he owed them a solid.
That's one hell of a monopoly to be running.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Well, the thing was, it was abandoned. He didn't take it or anything. It was just there. It's also not super useful, except to wizards and
On the rare
artificers.
occasion when you
Except
need to
when it is, and
house
then
a
it's
soul.
fucking handy. Yeah.
But 10,000 gold pieces of halvesite, you don't need to sell it very often.
Eric, on the other hand, is fully aware that the spell reincarnate exists because he has access to it.
Yes.
It and is only like
Potentially.
1/10 the cost. It's a level 5 spell
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
that druids have. I know.
Oh,
I checked
cool.
your I checked your list this
So
afternoon.
what we
Okay.
need is to like smuggle her soul inside Stephen, and then we can try to do some actual revival magic. I
Once
think that
she's-
could be good.
You know, I'm not the only one here. There's all those people. And she points to the village.
Oh, gosh.
We don't have enough deep fryers.
No. I'm not thrilled by the idea of the deep fryer, I'll be honest.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, to be
Look,
perfectly
I know,
honest,
it's
neither
a-
am I.
Wait,
I'm
if
not sure.
if any piece of technology works, we could smuggle you in Scops's gun. That would be quite poetic, actually.
So I would just be disembodied, essentially. Not
Well,
every
for
piece of...
for a bit.
John, you would know that, Bron would rather know that it kind of needs to have a significant amount of magic to it.
Uh-huh.
Stephen is animate and to a degree has a mild amount of autonomy. It's because it's a homunculus. If you had a flesh golem, that'd work for a while. Like there are a few bits and pieces that there is various ways to do this in the short term. It would eventually, like putting a soul in a flesh golem does eventually destroy the golem, and it would do the same to Stephen.
Not the Stephen. Well, I will probably try to figure out why those people are stuck here, but later. The thing I'm worried about right now is that thing that was talking to us. I don't know where he's gone, and I'm kind of worried what he's doing now.
Yeah.
It really wanted, at least with me, it really wanted me to leave,
Me too.
which seems like the opposite of what I would expect it to ask, which seems like maybe there's something here that it doesn't want us to interfere with.
How
Yeah,
many
or it
people
just
are we-
wanted to separate us and kill one by one.
How many people are we talking about here, Riley?
I haven't done a head count, but at least 50.
Are they organised in any ways? They were like a leader or something?
Sort of. There are a couple of people who took charge
And are they from one particular place, or are they just all over?
all over.
Right, so they just randomly yonked 50-odd souls into death for no reason.
They don't last long. And
So
Are they-
more than 50.
oh,
Are they powering something with? Are they
Yeah, why?
sacrifice?
souls are an energy source.
They're
Yeah.
making a soul battery.
And all the planes are gearing up for war.
I don't like
Yeah.
the smell of this.
Agreed. But I also don't know how we're going to transport them out.
Well, for now, we can't transport them, but here's the question. Do we feel confident enough to stay here with just a little longer to try and go to that village and see what's happening there?
I think since we're here,
I don't know. I gave Raleigh some of my energy, but I don't know how long it will last.
My concern with that village and that group of souls is that if they see us as a source of hope, and if they think that we might not be able to help all of them, that they might get violent and aggressive and hostile to us and each other.
Counterpoint, if you don't mind. If they see you as a source of hope, they'll last longer.
Oh.
Yeah.
But then we have
Both
to
of
go the
those
way of
things
could be
yoinking
true.
50 souls out of hell.
Not hell,
Death.
Well,
just death.
yeah. I mean, I can always try catapulting them, but I think that's less than ideal, to put it
Okay.
mildly.
I think
There
one
must be
step at a
other
time.
ways. There must be something else. Where else do
Yeah.
they... Do all souls come to death when they die? If they must, if that's the case, then death would be the most powerful plane.
Yeah.
Is
We
there
need
other
to figure
places they
out-
could go?
I think we should just see what's happening to them. And if that information would be enough for now, we have to move out of here. It is sapping energy from both me and Raleigh.
And the
Damn.
three of you would feel a tug as well.
DM, do I know anything about where souls go after people die?
It depends on the manner of their death. It depends on their alignment, sort of personality-wise. Particularly air-aligned bird folk, for example, may go to the plane of air. Particularly grounded people might go to the plane of earth. Life and death tend to be the place they go more often than not. People killed by the fire, people killed by the scorched grove would absolutely go to the plane of fire. People who die at sea probably wind up on the plane of water. So all of them get some. the very least.
The Amaranthine live amongst the different planes, don't they?
Yeah.
Would faith influence that as well? Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Not
Okay, but
hugely, but in some cases, yes.
yeah,
Um,
or like
followers-
if an Amaranthine felt really strongly about someone, they would.
Followers
Grab
of,
'em.
of Gesmi and Gaspard, for example, have an enclave on the plane of fire.
Mhm.
Because both of them are fire aligned. Whereas, Altus has a decent sized following of folk on the plane of water. That sort of stuff. But
Which Amaranthine are aligned with death?
Titan,
Oh, you know one at least.
Titan, Path, and Kren. The big
Yep.
three.
Fucking
Yeah.
Kren. That's another thing. Maybe we can talk to Kren. We haven't met him in a while.
I'm sorry, what?
We had a lot of run-ins with Kren.
In fairness,
We actually
Bron has met Kren, or at least an avatar of.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
that would actually
Terrible
inform that question. I'll give you that. No.
Yeah. So we have like some contact with him. We might try to reach out and try to get some information out of him.
To the god of trickery.
Listen, he's a talker. He loves to hear himself talk. So we might as well use that.
This
But
I would be more comfortable entreating Titan.
Well,
also,
I'd be more
have a-
comfortable catapulting myself out of here. This is ridiculous.
I don't want to like blow my own horn or anything, but I may be
Points at her cheek.
mystically linked to one half who might help us out.
Bro,
Maybe if I try and ask.
bro.
Hath is much
Yeah.
better than Kren. Yes.
He's not a trickster god for starters.
Technically, in the book, Hath is actually considered the uncaring one, but I have changed the
Oh,
way.
God.
I have actually changed Hath's approach a little bit. My Hath is not the
The
Hath
god
of
of
the
the
book.
raccoons could never be uncaring.
Yeah, no, exactly. The raccoons are lovely folk. Cool. Coming out of the barrow is the little old lady from before. And Raleigh goes, Sally, I'm sorry, my friend Julio is here. You should meet him properly. And
So she's like stage witches.
hello,
Is she-
dear.
Is she proper dead or not proper dead?
So I assume you were not the old lady that was talking to me before. You see me for the first time, yes?
No, we've met. I came and got Raleigh from you and took her. She needs rest. Raleigh, come, my dear, come. You need to go back to bed. I am helping her, keeping her strong for when she can leave.
Well, she's leaving now.
How?
Ah, there's a tree vagina over there.
And
Through
I
that
can't even
vagina.
catapult her through it.
this will kill her. You need something to put her back into.
Well,
Right.
we have slight plans
Wait,
on that front.
How do you know that? Who are you?
Good questions. Yes, you, woman, answer Julio's excellent questions.
I have been here a long time. I have seen many others come and go. Those that choose to leave often are unable to do so. They are just taken, eaten by the plane.
But you.
I don't want
I would
this,
like-
Raleigh.
This.
I would like to roll an insight check on
You
this
certainly-
person to
Me
see if
too.
she is an Amaranthine or otherwise affiliated with the plane.
Yeah. The fact that she's like so knowledgeable and okay on the plane, just chilling.
Yeah,
Suspicious.
I
Very
want
sus.
to use my inspiration.
very well. Brendan
Hell yeah.
rolls a 13. Not great.
That's worse.
Oh,
Oh no!
she's.
Fuck it. I'm also gonna use my inspiration if I can.
Wow.
Wow.
My
okay.
first roll was a 10. I'm gonna try and get better. She's sus. Okay. 17 is not great. What's my fucking
17's pretty
what's my
good.
fucking
It's pretty good.
where's my bonus? Insight plus 2, so it's a 19.
I'm gonna give you not
Nice.
a lot, but I'll give you something. Raleigh called this lady Thally.
Sally. Okay.
Thally.
Half. Is it like half?
No,
It's fucking okay.
She's-
I
she's
was
a
like, it's an
Jabin.
anagram for half.
no, she's a
Turbine.
Jabin.
Sally. Does that
You say
do the
Thally,
same
my
thing?
brain just
Am
goes
I
to the
stupid?
thalidomide, and that's not much at all.
It's been a while. Thalgoth, the effulgent, was-
Thalgoth.
the void elemental.
Oh,
Right. Wait.
It's a thin reed, but you can grasp it. No, not Sally. Thally. It's not just hello, Thally. Raleigh,
So-
come. You must go back to bed,
Siri,
sweetheart.
must you stick your ass?
And
Oh, thanks, Siri.
and Raleigh says, Auntie Thally has been helping me stay strong, waiting for someone to come.
How have you survived here, Sally? If you don't mind.
I am not a mortal like you.
It.
I care for those who
What?
come here.
How did you know someone was coming for them?
I didn't. Raleigh hoped. I don't want to disabuse her of that hope, and hey, was right.
So we can't take her out unless we have somewhere for her to go.
Also, how do you know where that goes?
Well, we came through it, so one assumes it goes back from the cave.
Oh, you know what they say about assuming things.
Guys, I don't like a
So creepy.
Makes
don't-
an
I don't-
ass of you and me.
vagina.
So, Sally,
Doesn't make
do you
any sense,
know-
dear. And it's quite
Do
crude,
you know
actually.
that village in the distance. Do you know why they're all there?
They are waiting, same as Raleigh was, but with less hope. The plane will consume them eventually.
How long have they been?
Depends. Some have only been here a week, others quite a bit longer. It depends on how strong they are, how long they last.
How
Well,
long?
why is this happening? What does the plane get from them being
Oh.
here?
Couldn't possibly guess. Strength, possibly.
Do you have any idea what happens to these?
Oh, the bodies would die.
How quickly?
Depends on the body. How fit, how strong, how fat. To be honest. Fatter ones do last longer.
Huh.
I've got more reserves to draw on.
What about one that's suspended in a water?
She frowns and then goes, "Oh, I see. Your friend will last a while, I imagine."
Is there a way to find out if their body is?
He she says probably. I would not know how, but I expect so. Without physically going and checking. Most of them would remember at least vaguely where they were.
Sally, are you in any way related to Talgoth?
Julio, you can make an insight check. You can repeat the insight.
Hoi, 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 hoi. Come on, don't give me shit. Hiya.
Chubbiness
Natural
is
one.
next to godliness. There's another great t-shirt.
Natural one.
Natural one.
Oh!
Tally goes, that being cannot really be related to anything.
Okay.
It seems to insist upon its parents quite a lot.
Oh, that is more a... It emerged from, it was not birthed by. If that makes sense. But I imagine it feels a familial relationship or bond. I believe it looks to one parent, not the other, though.
Yes.
Quite possibly because the other spurned it. Quite a sad story, I think.
Yeah.
Can I roll a... I'm not sure what check would be appropriate. Basically, I want to kind of get a read on, like, what's her energy like? Does she feel wholesome, or does she feel...
Insight.
Yeah. Can I use your dice because you put the webcam on?
Oh yes, we wouldn't want to disturb your blurry camera.
Yeah, God forbid.
It's a 4. Plus quite a bit.
Plus
I
8,
feel.
so, you know, could be worse.
12. Her vibe is grandmotherly, which doesn't really mesh particularly well with sort of the way she's been comporting herself. But not so much so that you go like, that's fucking weird, man. Like, she's admitted to not being what she looks like. So, yeah.
And she's not human. She mentioned.
She's definitely not a mortal. Yeah. But you don't know what she is. You haven't asked.
Could I be so...
Hey, Sally, what are you?
What the fuck are you?
A little blunt.
Kesh, give Eric a look that says, dude. I was about to ask that way nice.
I am a guardian. A protector. I guide those who come here, help them if I can, and keep away those who should not be.
So you don't feel an overwhelming need to make us go away.
Look, this place will hurt you if you are late here long enough. You should leave. But I've asked you to go before, and you didn't pay any attention.
That was... That was a pretty good Julio. You almost had me.
Well, we're going now with our
So,
friends.
if we can't take these people back to the Humblewood because they don't have bodies to get into, could we take them somewhere else less deathy? The life plane, perhaps.
The parrot has full claim.
Mm.
So that's a no.
That is very much a no, darling.
Right, okay.
Also, I don't think that would change the situation very much.
No.
It would just
Yeah.
change the surroundings, which
No, it won't be a plane. that's
They're
active.
dead.
Okay.
Death is the place for them. How they came to be here is nothing to do with you. I suggest you leave while you still can.
Okay. Well,
sounds good.
I
Could
yeah, I think
can I-
we should get Raleigh into the Steven and probably trying to get out.
can I roll an insight check specifically on the comment you should leave here while you still can?
Certainly can.
Hope it goes better than the last one.
10 plus 8.
18!
18. It desperately wants you to leave.
Like, out of concern for our welfare, or?
No, it doesn't give a shit about you.
Us being here is...
So suspicious.
It doesn't want you to be here. Your presence is a problem for it.
Why is us being here such an issue, Sally? Seem very keen for us to go, and not just because eventually we'll die.
Things here are as the parent wishes. Certainty in this place would be a great mistake for the thing. I leave you to make your own choices, but I have given you all the help I will. And it fades.
Okay.
So sus.
Is there a way, Eric, specifically to work out if our portal is going to actually take us back from whence we came, or whether we're just going to be, dumped somewhere unpleasant if we go through that?
The short answer is no. I should think that, as far as I was aware, that portal did not close and then reopen. So if it remained open from where we opened it, then I should think that it would return us there.
Look, if we need someone to go... If we need someone to go through it with a rope around their waist...
Yes, I think that we should all go through it at the same time, actually. And I think that we should go connected to each other,
Right.
so that whatever happened on our way in doesn't happen again. I should mention to you, Julio, that if you leave with us and then we want to return, we don't have one of these to protect you. We could probably make another one, but it would require getting some death essence.
Hesh kind of
Okay.
looks at the ground. Is there anything lying around? Maybe a deathy boulder or something. A
That'd
deathy
be great.
plant.
You're near
Look
a
around
lake.
and there's skulls on every surface.
You are near a lake full of moonlit water. I know. It glows. So as I described it before, the sky is mainly clouds. It is deeply overcast, but it is also the clouds themselves glow, so that the light is very diffuse here, and there is no wind at all. So the lake is flat like a mirror, and the water in it looks quite almost white from the cloud cover reflected on it. It's sort of silvery. You could gather that if you were going to gather anything that sort of is not inherently deathy, but like you feel like water absorbs stuff quite well, in terms of magical essence and that sort of thing. If you were going to gather up anything, the water. Alternatively, if you have a bit of an explorer around, you might find death things. You almost certainly will.
I would like to point out to everyone and Raleigh and Bron, you may not be aware of this, but the elementals, both on this plane and in our when they're in our plane, are extensions of the plane itself. So that being that we just spoke to likely knows far more about what is going on than it's willing to suggest, and
Absolutely.
is far more aligned with those intentions than it was implying.
Mm.
I don't think it's intelligent to trust anything that any beings that we see here, unless we can absolutely guarantee that they do not originate from this place.
It was.
And I don't know how we do that.
I'm going to point out a couple of things. Firstly, that it has been helping me. I knew her as Aunt Sally for some time, looking after me, helping me stay strong. But now I think about it, I don't know if that's true. I have very little to compare. I wasn't going back to the village very often to see others. Some of them told me they got a bad feeling about her, but she seemed, when you are in a place where no one wants to help you because there is no help to be given, when someone offers it,
It's very tempting.
But it's also worthy to note that, and I hope me pointing this out would maybe put a nail in the coffin of the idea that, how do you know I am me?
Don't worry, that had occurred to me.
I thought it probably had. You seem to be the smarter one of his friends. Thank goodness he has one of them.
Ash looks
I'm very dead.
disgruntled. Like both Cash and Bron is like, the fuck you say? With my
Well,
intelligence of...
I think it's 14.
We can
Steven
debate
doesn't
that
have to take
later.
anyone.
Yeah, Julio is the dumb one, amusingly.
Yeah.
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 I'm very dexterous.
You're very intelligent. 14's good.
It is?
Yeah.
I don't know what...
14 is well above the human norm.
Yay!
10 is the average.
10 to 11 is average person. Yeah, I read this in the player handbook recently.
Yay.
Raleigh, if you were not you, you would not be trying to stop me so much when I was giving you my life force.
I am very good at fooling you. I mean, yes.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna bring her back and then she's gonna transform into some giant void elemental.
Well,
to
it would not.
murder us.
Like, I probably wouldn't be turning down the armed little pot thing if I was going to want to kill you with it.
Good point. Okay, theoretically, if we do take you back and then you do turn into an elemental, we can kill you and make a protective amulet for Julio and then come back and find the real you. Take
Maybe some
that!
bullets.
Nice.
If I'm here at all.
Oh god.
Ash, we've been rubbing off on each other.
Wow,
Ca-
what have you
Cash
been
is
doing
just like,
while
oh
I'm in
god,
this
is
place?
anybody real?
Hold on.
Jesus.
Fortunately, I know for a fact that I am real, but you guys have no proof of that. Julio has a mole on the inside of his left thigh.
Is that true, Julio?
No comment.
Wow.
Why would you know that?
Anyway, we should probably head back or find some things to load
Yeah.
in Steven so
Look.
we can shoot things later with them.
I think we should leave.
I think if we leave, we have a chance to regroup and then come back and see if we can do anything out about the other people here.
Yeah. We're not taking them all with us right now, so
Yeah. Even if,
let's not.
Yeah.
What if some of them are still alive?
Well, we got nothing to carry them in.
No, my point. The one of the ones with bodies still. Some of them have only been here a few days.
But how do we fillet them out?
Well,
And
you ask them. Most of them would know.
yeah,
And
but
the others
how do we
would
carry
remember
Why
when
them?
they
wouldn't
got
they
here.
lie to us?
Yeah, and how do we carry them? Well, I mean, if they lie to us, no harm, no foul. They just bounce back here.
We don't know that's going to happen.
They
Did-
might be
do you-
They
ghosts.
could
You're right.
manifest.
Hmm.
So
And then
can
we've
you,
just got a bubble of ghosts on the other side of the tree. That's not helpful.
So, Riley, can you tell your body is dead?
Don't think I can tell, no, but I am beginning to suspect that Sally, her whole thing was actually to make me weaker, to degrade my hope.
Mm.
Hope is what will keep them here longer. I think
Ugh.
she had no reason to lie about some of it.
There's
Meet
just
them.
not much we can do.
But there is something you can do for some of them. You have a portal back. If any of them, their bodies are still alive, then they could get home.
Yeah, she's right.
You
We
don't-
gotta try.
You
at
don't
least.
want to tell them. Don't go in saying, "Hey, we've got a portal," but you couldn't. You
Yeah.
could say, "Hey, how long have you all been here?" And then, "Hey, you died only 2 days ago. Come with us."
Okay,
Don't
so-
tell anyone.
Portal is likely going to remain open regardless of whether we're here or not.
Is that
So it might not be such a bad idea for us to go and very carefully decide what we're going to say to them. But if only our presence allows them to stay around longer, then that could buy us time to find a better solution.
hope? Is all I'm asking you to give them. Hope, like you gave me hope.
Okay, well, let's. If
Yeah.
we're gonna do it, let's just go because
Yeah.
this place gives me the
Time is
creeps.
timing. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
Okay.
do it.
So
I speaking of hope, hope is going to come out. And what form does she take? Because in the life plane, she was huge.
yeah, she would be the same. She would be. This is the same. It is. I would say. Would you say she was closer to life aligned than death aligned, or the other way around? I have it in my head, like canonically, I feel fire is closer to death than life.
The wildfire druid is all about destruction
Rebirth.
and renewal.
Yeah.
So it's kind of both.
In which case, she'd be the same size. I think, and also because technically, in this idea, all planes are diametrically opposed. There is no real like there's no more closer to this than this. There is sort of ideologically, but not in terms of energy. So she is closer to an energy source only because she's not on the material, but she is no closer than before. So yeah, she would be bigger. She would be about the size of an eagle, as I recall. But yeah, so she's fairly sizable.
She was
like a
big
good-
enough to fly me.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. With yours, yeah, because you could glide already. So she was basically giving you lift. Yeah, yeah, about that big. Probably similar wingspan to you, but nowhere near the mass.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
Okay, good to know. Yes.
And Raleigh goes, "Whoa, where
Yeah.
did this come from?" Give me a start.
This is hope.
I wasn't meaning literally.
I know.
Just
Sometimes I
Interesting.
forget that my class features exist, and I just need an NPC to mention something that reminds me. No.
Wait, you think I'm an NPC?
Damn, dude, that's so rude, Eric.
Jesus.
I hate to break it to you.
I've killed so many people.
Do you know Bob?
Who are we rescuing?
Oh boy.
So Zoomer of you.
Okay.
Yeah. So you
This
head.
trip is getting weirder and weirder.
It's getting very meta. I'll be honest. You head over to the village.
Oh, I wonder, Riley, if we're going to tell a bunch of people that we're here and tell them not to go into the gate, perhaps you shouldn't look like you and then come with us through the gate.
Oh, okay.
Why don't we
Julio,
kill
give me your eye
two
patch.
birds with one stone?
Okay.
Why don't we see if Steven can hold you now?
I how?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't normally go in for the whole like reanimating thing, but we can maybe give it a go.
I don't know if even I can while I still have because here I have a physical presence.
Hmm.
And I don't know how to leave when I get in there.
Yeah, it's a good question.
I think maybe take Steven, is it called?
Yes.
Can you, while I'm in it, if you don't mind calling me Raleigh, that would be good. Because I don't think he can talk or
Oh.
anything.
I think we should call you Raleigh.
No, I can't roll my arms.
Yeah, I can't pronounce that, but
I
sure.
can't- yes,
Sure.
you need lips to be able to do that.
Raleigh.
Rah, rah, rah.
This is a bad romance.
That's better. I was doing Rasputin, but yes.
What's Raleigh's surname?
Generation gap.
Raleigh would say, I think possibly send Stephen first, and then I go through, and then I know there's a thing for me to go to.
Yes, that makes more sense.
If anything works, that would work. And if not, then I'm a ghost and I haunt you. Ooh. Hopefully.
Haunt the
Seems
shit.
fair.
Yeah, I don't think we should tell people about the portal. I think you're right. I think you tell them that you can come and go, you know how, but that getting them out is going to be hard or not possible. Really, just I don't think you should tell them anything about coming and going. You are just here now, and isn't that weird? And you should meet people and find out. Because I'm with you, I don't think you should tell everyone. And then when you have gotten out those that you can save, then maybe you tell them about maybe being able to save the rest of them, but you're working on it. Don't worry, we got you. You know?
We'll find a way. Maybe possibly.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she is
Let's go
looking
for
at Eric on this.
Yeah, can't trust these chuckle fucks.
It's like
Yep.
He's the one who's raised the strenuous objections. So she's appealing to him because he's the one she feels she has to convince. Also, he's the one who makes the portal.
It is more duplicitous than I'm comfortable with. And my concern is still that we could cause a riot.
Yeah. I am not super
Okay, then maybe just be honest with them. Tell them that if they go back, they'll probably just be spirits, ghosts haunting people. Surely there's somewhere else we could take them. Maybe another plane, a nicer one.
Tally said we couldn't, but then Tally could be a lying liar who lies, so...
I think Dali has demonstrated that that is in fact exactly what she is.
I mean, the trees growing up. Could it possibly house them for a little bit? It's
What
not
to-
yet a plane, but it's almost, right?
To put souls...
Julio, make me a religion check.
Oh shit. Okay, I shall.
It's always
Okay.
good.
Does he get advantage
Religion.
because it's older Hardy?
I think the fact that he's making the check at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
16.
Julio, if these can power the death plane, then at the very least they could power the older heart. So they wouldn't be any worse off, but they would at least be home on their own plane. At the very, very least.
Mm.
And they
Okay.
might be older heart elemental.
Okay. Yeah, we
getting
can
dicey.
smuggle them to Older Heart and make them part of it. My only issue is this is a direct involvement against the death plane. I am for it, but I think we should take a vote on this together as a party because this is not a neutral act. To be fair, though, Talgoth did try to kill us already, so you can say that we are in our right to try and get out of this. But
I'm not super knowledgeable about these things, but can we perhaps try and disguise where we're taking them? If you can make another bridge, Eric, can we take them to a plane that so far is not yet involved? So then they'll be like, "Hey, you stole my things." No, I didn't, and like might buy us a bit of time.
So I have 2 points.
Me
First of
too.
all, I think that well, that currently relevant. I might be able to use hope to form a gateway to the fire plane to get them there. Or otherwise, if it's hope that we want to instill in these things, then we could just have hope fly over the village just to let them know there's another presence here and we don't need to interact with them directly at all. The other point that I had, Julio, is I don't mind. Well, I have some misgivings about putting them into the older heart, but I'm okay with it. But my question is, how do we get them there without taking them through our plane,
Hmm.
which is technically the same plane
Well,
as the
yeah,
older
older
heart? I
heart
assume
would-
you mean moving them into the node?
You were still in the shade of the older heart when you made the thing. You are not that far. You're comfortably far enough away that you wouldn't like make an adjacent node like there was in the roots. You don't want that. However, there is a life node in the roots, only a 2-hour walk from where you are. They'd be disembodied spirits for a while, but you can be disembodied spirit for a while. That's what ghosts are.
But we don't know. I mean, you just told us out of character, but we don't know in character what these things are going to be when they come out.
Become.
Yeah.
So that is
I-
Eric's concern.
Eric, I have a very strong belief that older heart is already strong enough to fight off any death energy that might come with. I think it would be a better place for them, and they are being eaten here. I think we can definitely try at least, and Older Heart can protect them. That's what Older Heart does for all of us who live there.
My vote is that we leave now and we think of a better plan to rescue as many people as we can.
We can give
Okay.
them like a hope flyover. Leave now. Think of a solid plan. Come back. Do it properly instead of doing it half-assed and getting it wrong.
Okay, my vote is to take whoever we can now, because next time we come here, they might not be here.
I mean, we could always go in there all brisk like and be like, we don't have time to explain. We need everyone who's been here less than 2 days.
I could go. They already know me. I'm dead. I can go
Okay.
and find out. I could ask and find out and bring them back without you guys ever having to go there.
I am with Eric on this. I don't think we should go, but that is a good idea. If you go, figure it out, then yes, they can come with us. Fine.
Okay.
Then once you have done that and brought them back, then we'll have Hope fly over to Okay,
Okay.
let's do that.
And back out the vagina.
Yes.
You say this. I think I see what you mean, but also don't. There's no need for this. Kesh, you I'm sure are with me on this, right?
Absolutely. It's crude and inappropriate.
You called it the vagina first.
It was
You need
just-
a little bit.
So, I think we will have a short little breaklet there, and be back in 5 to 10. Just take a quick little break. So say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Cast and ahoy, mateys. We'll be back for some more Humblewood. Percival Mon, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Happy Halloween to ya. So we return to the Plane of Death. Lovely place, as you've observed.
It's gorgeous. Love it.
It's charming, marvelous, and you are standing just outside the village of Mornvale. You don't know it's called that, but it is. And you are probably half an hour's sort of jaunt, not even 20 minutes. 20-minute walk from there, and Raleigh has just offered to go on her own to sort of do on the down low. Is there anybody here whose bodies might still be alive that she can escort back with her? Her body absolutely is not alive, but we're hoping to find a resolution for that situation. Utilizing Stephen, the deep fat friar. So, you presumably are, as long as everybody's on board with this idea, she will go. She goes. She will be at least an hour to get there, check things out, get people together, and then bring them back. What do you do in that time?
I am going to wait about. Do we have any idea of how long it would take to get there?
About 20 minutes on foot.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to wait about 25 minutes, and then I'm going to scry on Raleigh so I can see what's going on there.
Nice.
Okay.
Did you send Hope with her?
No.
Okay.
Because that would be putting the cart before the horse in terms of the plan. You don't want people to have see Hope and her. Otherwise, Hope could fly her there faster.
Yeah.
So, you scry on her. She is doing what you asked. She is talking to a couple of people. She is, when you actually scry on her, she is in deep conversation with a small skink-like Tilia man. Who, he has, it's not Stephen. He's
Tilia
been here
are
for...
the lizard people,
Lizard
right?
people, yes, exactly. He is. He and she are conversing quite strongly, and then your viewpoint.
When you say strongly, is there hostility?
No, just sort of vigorously. She intently is the right word. Sorry, that's more what we were looking for. The buildings around her are really quite dilapidated, but also very eclectic. There is unusual mixture, like all styles, designs. Bron would recognize some from his home, but equally Eric would recognize some from like similar style to Brackenmill. It's all over the place. I feel that Espinora is sort of the flat-roofed, white plaster outside buildings of the Mediterranean style. Is the way I think of Espinora. It's finally done, Terrace. I'm glad to see you, mate. How are you? And then Eric, as you are watching her, a glow comes from her left-hand side, and there are several people around her, like none listening to what she's saying, but she and the Tilia man look over to their left and both smile. And the Tilia man goes towards the light, as it were, whereas Raleigh looks at it and pats the Tilia man on his shoulder, says, and gestures her to go, and makes a Can you hear with it? Or is it just seeing?
Let me double check. Yeah, see and hear.
All right, you can overhear the conversation she is having then. Then you hear she's basically saying, and only about a week. That might work. We might be able to. I've met some people. An old friend of mine. He is maybe going to be able to get us out. But you need maybe to still have your body alive when you get there. And he responds, Tilia have very slow metabolism. I probably last a while. Prepare to take the risk. And then this glow it's gradual, but they both notice it pretty much at the same time. Appears from off to the left, and the Tillia says, "I now disappear the golden underpants. Were you Rocky, Terrace? Were you Rocky?" Excellent. How did that go down with the mums and dads when you answered the door? You see that, and she says, "You, it's them. Amazing. They will want to meet. Okay, you go. I'll go and get my friends. They will want to meet them." And Raleigh dashes. I mean, it probably stays focused on Raleigh as she dashes back towards you guys.
She's coming back. There's some glowing figure that she is keen to introduce us to.
Okay, well. Sorry, let's
Sounds like
go.
Yep. We'll meet
go.
her.
Let's just go.
halfway.
Outside the village.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You go. You meet her. She is dashing back. And like Julio, she's a rogue, so she can run pretty fucking fast. You meet her in about 10 minutes minimum. 10 minutes max. Probably more like 8. As you're making reasonable speed, but I don't think you're rushing. She comes to you and says, "Okay, I'm not wanting to change the plan, and we can still do your plan if you want, but there is someone there. It seems the most ludicrously stupid thing for the death plane to do if they're wanting to destroy hope. They bring it.
What?
It's hard
Who
to
is
explain.
that? Who is?
You'll know them when you see them." She looks at Cash.
Oh, okay. Can I roll an insight check on this?
You can. You want?
I have a feeling I know who this might be, but...
Yeah.
11 plus 8, 19. You guess, because she's looking at your cheek, not at you.
Oh.
Crazy.
I'm gonna...
You particularly should definitely go, even if the others don't.
It's up to you.
I'm
guys.
with you, Lieutenant Colonel.
Yeah, we go.
Okay, let's do it.
Really? Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, Bronze only second deity?
Oh, only a second time.
Second or third?
Yeah.
It depends how you count it. I'm pretty sure your magic is imbued from a deity, but I can't remember which. It's the life plane. What am I talking about? Yeah. So technically 2, because the life plane is a deity. And you've also met Hath. You've also met Kren. So this is your third, technically, deity. But I don't know how well you remember the first 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first.
The first one was absolutely a bit weird. Eric, you've actually interacted with the life plane too, so I'd call it a third. Yeah. An amaranthine each and a deity. In fact, the same amaranthine and deity, interestingly, for both of you, but at vastly different times of your lives and careers. Going on for 3 apiece. You head back in. Let us have the plane of death, Mornvale. Yes. Where am I? There it is. The village of Mornvale up close is even more dilapidated than it looked in the distance. The homes are a ragged collection of styles and designs, some very foreign to your sensibilities. Thatched cottages, rub eaves with flat-roofed stone houses like those in Espinora. Tree houses stand sentry over semi-submerged burrows, their ceilings a patchwork of leaves and tattered cloth. The folk here are similar, dreary people, the colour washed from their feathers and fur, their clothing as diverse in design and style as the buildings. None bear any injuries, though some are more translucent than others, and perhaps mercifully, there are no children here.
Cool, the death plane's not a total dick.
Well, maybe they just don't last very long.
Okay.
Or they're the
cheery thought.
tastiest.
I know it's Halloween, but what the hell, man?
They go into the Mega Soul battery.
Yeah, because they've got so much soul. Children got so much soul. Yeah. And as you get there,
No, they go into those little C batteries.
yeah. They're good for watches.
Yeah.
Does anyone watch Snowpiercer?
Oh, don't.
Very upsetting
yet.
film.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
the film is fine. How's the series? Did you watch the
I
series?
didn't watch the series.
Oh, I
watched the
thought you were
film.
watching the series.
I watched the one with Chris Evans in it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
I like
so,
my dystopia served with a side of abs.
fair, valid. And John Hurt as well.
And John Hurt.
Yes, you as you get there, you can see off in the direction for Eric, off in the direction that they looked before. Most of the people here are crowded around something that, and whilst there isn't, it's not glowing exactly. There is a light source. It is sort of, the area over there is brighter. Dystopia asked John Hurt.
Before we arrive, Hope is going to go away.
Right. Not a bad idea. You do that. So yeah, you put away Hope, and there is a crowd of folk. Not everyone is gathered around it. Some people are walking around with just a smile on their face, and the ones that are not are more like are very opaque.
Are people like noticing us?
A few. You've come in with Raleigh, so some people are like, "Oh, new people, hello." You are greeted by a Corvum, who is remarkable for a withered wing, in a place where nobody has any injuries. Yes, the wing is sort of atrophied, like it just got damaged very long time ago. Who sort of waves at you with his good arm. Hello.
Yeah.
You're new. Are you welcome? My commiserations.
Thank you. We were hoping to find out what the weird glow was.
Ah, yes, you should meet them, of course. I won't hold you back from it. It'll be a boon to you. Borain is my name, and you're welcome to. When they leave, and they probably will, they usually do. Come back and we'll talk. I'll give you the lay of the land, tell you what's going on. I'll explain. Right? Everything's going to be okay.
Thank you.
Borain Bitterground, just in case anybody wanted to know. A bought NPC name.
Excuse me. The yawn was not related to the choice of name.
Yeah.
It's just been a long day.
You head closer and sort of looking around and through the crowd. I mean, the crowd is only 50 people, and it's sort of beginning to disperse. And you can hear from within somebody saying, "Please, my friends, that is all I can give you today, but I'll return soon." And people begin to sort of spread out and move away. All of them with a bit of a spring in their step and a bit of a smile on their face or beak.
The people who are leaving, do they seem more solid?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And from within the group, you can see a map hatch.
Yes.
A slightly unusual looking map hatch. In fact, Kesh, Bron, and Eric, they are more alike to the being that you saw with Trish not that long ago.
Yeah.
And I think, Kesh, you would remember that too, actually. You recognize this creature. It's not a map hatch in the traditional sense. It looks more like an actual fucking raccoon, which isn't too dissimilar. And it is wearing clothing. It's not naked as the day it was born, like the one that was hanging out with Trish.
Shameless nudist hanging with Trish.
Fucking raccoon. It's not actually at all. It's like, what's with the weird naked map hatch, baby? No, it's... And the eyes sparkle as they look up at you and say, "Hello, Kesh."
And Kesh will kind of do a bow.
I know why you're here, but no, there's really no need for that.
Feels nice. Hello.
It is nice. I appreciate it. But you don't need to. If anything, after our last conversation, I should be bowing to you.
Ah,
Ooh,
wouldn't go that far.
They noteworthy don't. You're here for your friend?
Sort of, but hoping we could do something with these people.
I'm not. We discussed this before. I'm not omnipotent, but I can sense a bridge you built. That was risky, friend.
We didn't mean to build a bridge. It was more of a temporary opening.
It makes sense if you're building a bridge, if you're opening a door into a house, but less so if the house is capable of thought. The house has opinions, and this house has pleasant opinions.
Yes.
Could you help us to destroy the bridge when we're on the other side of it?
No, but you could. You can destroy it. I don't know what it wants. I haven't the faintest idea. I'm reasonably confident it's feeding off these people, and despair is the food, it's not the soul. It's how long it can torment the soul.
Oh, that's even worse.
Makes sense though.
That
Is that-
explains what Thalia was doing with you, Raleigh.
Yes, it does.
Is this not breaking some kind of rules to just grab people before they've died?
What rules are there now? The planes are at war. We need to do whatever we can.
All the
That's
planes.
disturbing.
None of the planes would agree that. Wrong voice. None of the planes would agree on what the rule. All of the planes would agree with the plane of death that any they can take, they have right to.
Open-ended?
It's pretty much the way it works, though, in all of them. Life is no different.
Okay. Right.
It's just life is far more successful at it because it's managed to build it. It's just a propaganda thing. It's public relations. Life is very good at it. It's a nicer place to be if what you're used to is the material. I'll give it that. It doesn't have to look the way it does. It chooses that.
So,
It's PR.
were to find a way. Happy.
Probably. It might well fight you for it.
I mean, it's already not very happy with us, so you know.
Look, you would struggle to piss it off more. Hello.
There we go.
Nice, by the way, Ron.
Oh,
Nice to meet you.
Nice.
Hi.
And Eric.
Can you?
Hello.
Can I ask? Can you hold my hammer for a little bit? I'm a personal big fan.
Don't be weird now, Bron.
But just I like making things.
Funny, you look more like a Vulcan than a fan.
Yeah.
And the being takes your hammer off you and presses its little Mapatch raccoon hands around it, and sort of just hugs it for a little while and continues the conversation. Just like, I'm gonna hug this for you for a little while, seeing as you asked nicely. Eric, you're doing so well, by the way. Reining these three.
DM, what do I know about Hath?
What any kid would learn in school. They are, of all the Amaranthines, arguably the most mysterious. Possibly the only one that actually qualifies as a god itself. Because it's self-actualized, where all the others were made. Well, Ardaean and Titan, it's a maybe, but all the others were created by them. They were raised to immortality, to Amaranthine-hood, by Ardaean and Titan. Hath wasn't. Hath is a constellation that self-actualized, really. It looks a bit like a Mapatch if you want to make it look like a Mapatch. And the Mapatch started praying to it, and enough of them did. And it kind of just was. It just sort of became. They are not he or she. It is a they situation. This currently presents as neither. You would struggle to place a gender on it. Beyond that, it is the... it is affiliated with death, but also of... I suppose, yeah, death and knowledge would be, if you were thinking in cleric domains, maybe forge a little bit. Not really, but because it is the god of Mapatch, it's also god of making stuff. So actually, I'm going to lean in on that. Yeah, no, definitely god of forge. Maybe if you were going to worship any, it would probably be Hath or Gesmi. Yeah, in terms of sort of things people would pray to Hath for, good sleep, nice vibes. You pray to Gesmi for knowledge. You pray to a Hath for wisdom.
Lord knows I need more of that.
Yeah,
not
there's that
not in
mode.
a stats way, but sort of like in a what path in life should I choose rather than what math question do I answer? They are
So
generally
that's a pretty
seen.
solid tie between Eric and Hath there.
Yeah. They are also, as stars, they are very natural aligned. They would, for all that they're all about making stuff, they would still be very like close to nature. Druids would be very, I think, quite well attuned to Hath. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it like
Twilight? Yes, Twilight
Does
domain.
anyone feel like the way the Elder Heart is evolving gives Hath vibes? Just the way you described it.
It's why Hath has been on the record as this good for a while now. Hath was, I think, the second Amaranthine that weighed in and said, "Yo, that." Possibly even more so. Yeah. Nabar has her own reasons. Hath is kind of ambivalent, or is if any could be described as neutral in the affairs of everybody. Hath. No particular stake in it. They are something of an outsider even within their own pantheon.
Because of their nature.
Yeah. But also kind of liked by everyone, like gets along with Kren as well as everybody else. Like doesn't
the cool
trust
dude on the
Kren.
party.
Doesn't trust Kren, but does like has no beef. Yeah.
Nice.
So basically, it's Chris Best.
Everyone's friends with it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
harking
John's
back.
like, what?
What was the joke that your brother was friends with anybody?
Everyone.
You go to a party with Chris anywhere in the world, and he if they aren't friends with him when you get there, they will be by the time you leave. But if you go to a party with him in Perth, everyone's like, "Hey,
We know
It's
that guy.
It's about 2/3 of the party will know him.
It's
Because he used to work at a really popular Fit Chips, but also he was just very cool.
Had
Nice.
huge Liberty spikes.
Yes, he
yeah.
had a Facebook
Yeah.
fan page for a bit.
Wow.
The guy with the
What?
motorrocket Fit Chips.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if it
that
still
does not
exists,
surprise me.
but there was a fan
That's
page for a
crazy.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on a flight to England, and on like the 10 hours, he made 5 friends on a plane flight.
It's just this weird superpower.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad was like, I'm finally going to take him somewhere where he won't know people. And he got off the plane in the new country with friends. And he was like, God damn it.
He'll have to hang out with me. Fuck. Hey, Soundboy. Get out, you beautiful bastard. So yes, that's what you know about Hath, Eric.
Okay. Were they saying something to me before I interrupted?
They basically just said hi. It was like
And
nice.
you're doing a good job.
Nice to meet you. You're doing a great job. The voice of reason is always sensible, particularly when someone else is trying to make a deity.
About that.
Oh, yes.
I am going to do my best to not look at Julio. I'm not going to give him the side eye. I'm just going to keep eye contact with her.
It's not that difficult.
Oh,
when you're in the
look at
presence
those
of a
clouds. Those are so cool.
when you're in the presence of a minor deity, it's not that difficult to keep your eyes on them. Yeah.
About that making a deity thing.
Yes.
I don't know. Eric had this idea
It
that
was Bron, I think, but yes.
Bron about putting the souls in
Yeah.
the old heart.
Yes, I'm pretty sure it was Bron.
Okay.
I had an idea.
Eric would not have had that idea,
No,
I
he
think.
would not actually. No.
He might have had it, but he wouldn't have said it.
Bron had an interesting idea about how to maybe get out of here by putting them in the older heart.
Look, at this point, unless you're going to reincarnate every single one of them, I can't think of many better places to send. Well, I can think of one better place to send them, or a different place to send them. There is a place where there are an awful lot of vessels without souls.
Really?
Yes, your friend just came back from. She looks at Cash.
Oh, Barovia.
Yes. It's a closed system. Nothing can get in or out, including souls.
Yeah.
So when someone dies or is born, souls get reused, reincarnated. They're reincarnating significantly faster.
So we could put the souls.
However, the birth rate in there is higher than the death rate. So currently there is a whole bunch of people there without souls.
Oh, my word.
It's
How do
pretty
they function
upsetting,
without
actually.
souls?
They're fine. They don't have a lot of. They don't particularly have a sense of humor, but that's not uncommon in Barovia as it is.
Uncommon generally. So
Will people be back in different bodies? Will they be a bit disoriented? Will they know?
Almost certainly. So this is the thing, and that's the. You kind of get a gestalt of the two, personalities wise, but they get a soul, which means
There are also Barovia is a story that you tell children to keep them behaving. I wouldn't want. I'm not convinced that
I'm
a
not
mortal
proposing
life
this.
in Barovia is better than here.
I'm not proposing it as necessarily a solid plan. I was simply saying there is a place where there are vessels. If you could get in and get the vessels out, great. But even then, I don't know what morality-wise the yay or nay on that would be. But it's not my job to make that decision. I'm just giving you the information so that you can. I can advise, but I can't make you do things one way or the other. Or I can, but I'm not choosing to.
right.
Thank you.
We
I mean, I couldn't
understand. We
make
appreciate
you,
that.
but I can give you advice, and I'm choosing the information I give you. But yes, that would be. It's just I'm letting you know all the options.
So possibly our best bet is to save the ones we can.
Definitely save the ones
Yeah.
you can. As far as I'm aware, there are 3 here who have bodies that are still alive that could go back to. Jazlax particularly has a family that are starving to death, so it would be really handy for him to be there to feed them.
Okay, so you can tell us which ones are safe to go back?
Oh yes.
That would make things so much
so
easier.
handy.
Well, even
That's
those
actually why
without
I
the
came
bodies,
today.
Oh, right.
even
I come
the
down
ones
and
without the bodies, should we still take them? Do you think so?
Look, the longer they stay here, the more fed the plane becomes.
I suppose
Okay.
it's a question of whether the consequences of taking them away will be so severe that we.
War has been declared, my.
All's
Yeah.
fair in love and war.
Well,
All right.
it's-
Yes. All the
It's
souls.
more like if you're worried that there will be repercussions. The repercussions are already happening. You think it's going to make it worse if you do an act of war on a thing that's already at war with you.
My concern is if we bring these souls back to our plane, that damage will be incurred on either the souls or the plane.
Won't hurt
But
the
if
plane.
you're telling us that no, then
It won't hurt the material plane, or the damage would be so negligible you wouldn't notice. The souls themselves, if they stay here, they will be effectively tortured to death. It's not. They probably won't feel it like it's torture, but it kind of is, and it's absolutely what's part of the reason they're being kept separate, independent, capable of thought. Eventually, they will be consumed by the plane, and that is not pleasant. It's not unpleasant. I don't want to make you worry that it's horrible. It's a painless experience. They won't even be aware of it. At which point they will join with the plane and be one with it. It could then, at some later time, incarnate them as elementals. They would lack for absolute free will, but they would be able to be conscious again. They might even remember their previous existence. They can. It's whether or not the plane chooses the two. However, this plane is somewhat sadistic regarding mortals.
Put them in the older house.
not dissimilar to the initial, but the older heart is kinder. And
If is this the only village of this kind in this plane?
no,
Wow.
the
What?
plane is large, comfortably as
Yes.
large as the Everden.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a problem.
This is a tiny drop in the ocean, but you know how what they say about loads of little drops.
Yeah.
Let's take everyone.
Eric?
Yep.
Yes.
I can't tell you exactly what they'll be on the other side. Your circle is still up. Time here is different. It doesn't move faster or slower, it just moves differently at the whim of the plane itself. You are very much at the whim of the plane. It will oppose you taking.
Mm.
And I want to be clear,
Are we willing,
there aren't thousands of these people. There are maybe a half dozen of settlements like this across the plain. They don't last long, and it does its best to lure people, but it can't. None of them are allowed to. Well, they are. Well, they're not, but they do interact with the plane directly. They send what they can, but it's hard for them because the others will oppose it. Vast majority of the time, the plane of fire had a real coup, getting the scorched grove happening, and it's still going on. It's still there, as you well know, Eric. It's quiescent, right? It burned an awful lot of its energy, but having an actual door permanently through is a real thing for them. And you are going to need to seal this one really fast, otherwise you'll have the same problem.
Understood.
Um,
Well, I'm going to look around at my friends and say, are we prepared to fight the plane itself to take these souls with us?
Yep.
The worst thing we can do is fail.
you won't be fighting. Well, plane itself. The good thing and the bad thing is it's huge. So it's extremely powerful, but it's also very dispersed. It's got a lot on its mind. Your one tiny problem.
Yeah.
It is
We're
the
not
strong.
taking that many people to like be a
No.
huge threat, right?
The number of people who cross over to death and inadvertently leave their bodies behind that are still alive technically on a daily basis would be less than one. On a weekly, you'd see like maybe 2 or 3 across the entire material plane. It's not often, but it happens, and it happens enough, that it's an issue. This would be a major coup if you could save them, because here's the trick: despair is not a very powerful source of power.
Would there be a way to just...
Now there's a thought.
Stephen?
What do you plan for your friend? She points at Raleigh. Join with the older heart? Or are you going to do something different?
Oh. Hoping to...
Her body is in the Blight Sea.
Yeah.
Raleigh nods and says, yes, this was what I was. I hope that something could be done. But not. I am content.
Did you drown?
The older heart was pretty. No, I was in a desert. That's the Blight Sea is, a desert.
Oh,
Right.
that's a bit easier, maybe.
Blight. It's
Yeah, the
Maybe
clues
not.
in the name.
How do you know how long you have been here?
There is
Perhaps
not a
Hath
huge.
would help.
Yeah, Raleigh sort of looks like she's really trying to figure it out, then looks at Hath sort of despondently, and Hath says, about 2 weeks in your time. Here, several months.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be able to reincarnate you.
Ah,
Okay.
Why?
Well, first of all, I would require the remains of her body, and secondly, the powers that be only allow a set amount of time before the spell becomes ineffective. 10 days.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
Which isn't to say that there aren't people who couldn't do it, but as we all
Becomes a lot
know,
trickier.
it's something of a taboo.
Oh,
Hath says, this is actually a different situation. The body the body died only about a week ago. The body has been there for 2 weeks. I apologize, I wasn't clear. But yes, it's 7 days ish. It's under the 10 days, and because of the situation, it would still work. Your
She
magic.
did say that she didn't just die. I think her soul was taken out before her body was dead.
Oh well, that's always what happens. They
Oh.
when they cross over, the plane takes the body, it takes the soul, not the body. The body is left behind. That's always what happens. So that's what all of these lot had happened to.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a cave in the light sea. She's actually lying right next to Shazlax.
So
There's a node in the cave. It's pitch black. They go in there looking for things and find it, and they don't even realize they've touched it until it's too late.
Oh,
It's
shit.
dark. And Raleigh
touching
is
nodes.
like, oh, yes, I remember now. It's probably quite traumatic. That's probably why you didn't. I remember feeling my soul being wrenched from my body. Yes, no, actually, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to remind you of that.
So, I feel like the pressing question at this moment. How does one distract death?
Well,
I
we
have an
first-
idea for that.
well, firstly, not by having me here. I'd have to leave.
Yes.
I am very obvious to it, and it doesn't mind me being here at all, because I prolong the experience.
Oh.
I do it for
Ah,
the best
how nice.
possible reasons, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking we could send Stephen out with something very elementally charged shoved in the boomstick, but
Like
Eric's
a bullet.
already shaking his head, so I feel like he has a better plan.
We should collect the bullets anyway.
Look, I'm not opposed to Stephen doing whatever Stephen does, but I don't think that will be big enough. Are we going to do this?
I need Stephen, don't I?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Maybe we build a
We need-
bigger Stephen. The
I would-
biggest boomstick.
I would prefer not to be a robot long term, if that's a possibility.
Yeah.
As well as, not instead of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll do it. So, Eric, you look
Yes.
like you had an idea.
Yes, I do.
Care to share?
Well, it was going to be more dramatic if I didn't, but
Look,
Hope,
No, I'm up for drama.
Hope-
Let's do that.
Hope is an elemental that doesn't belong on this plane, and she has a larger presence than she does in ours. So
Oh.
if I send her off in a different direction to cause havoc, it would mean that Hope wouldn't be able to help me, but that may be the distraction we need. And hopefully, we'll be able to get Hope out before we seal the portal shut.
My question,
Well-
yes, was will Hope be alright?
I mean,
Any elemental that dies here gets sent back to its own plane.
you just go back to the plane of fire.
Yes.
And is she normally in
I
the
would-
plane of fire and then
I would caution you,
summon
Eric.
hope, or
She's sort of tied to your soul.
Yes.
So you'd be leaving a portion of your soul here.
Well then,
And that's
If we
how
were to leave her
Julio got
behind.
here in the first place.
oh,
He-
did you put some soul in the death node?
No, he put his own eye,
Ah,
which is
oh yeah.
he has a link to it. His soul. It was a part of his own soul. Yes. What you're looking at is actually that part of the soul. Well, it sort of dragged the rest of him through this time around.
Do I have the ability to communicate with Hope without her being out?
Yeah, I'd say so, because that's interesting narratively right now. You do now. You do at this
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
You don't have it on the material, but you do here.
ah, special.
I think
intel.
I think I've ruled that before. She can talk on the
I-
elemental planes.
Yes. Yeah, I just wanted to see if I could talk with her without her being physically present.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
certainly try.
I would like to try and see what Hope thinks of this plan and if she feels confident that she could cause a distraction elsewhere and then get back to us in time before the portal closes.
She says, "I can try. This isn't my
Are
home
you willing
plane.
to?
Any creature here, almost every elemental here is my strength or I am not. I am very diminished by my bond with you, to be honest.
Ouch.
I don't want you to fight anything. I just want you to run.
And I can do that. Fly would probably be my choice.
Mm.
But any creature here that the plane wants to be able to can fly at least as I can distract, I can change, I can teleport even to 3. I can give you an edge. And if you summon me back before I am destroyed, before you leave, then I'll
Yes.
pop back into you. That's the way to do it.
Okay.
Use our bond.
Okay. Let's do that.
You really don't
Okay.
want to leave me here. As much as I don't want to stay, you don't want to leave. Because then the
I
same
know.
thing that happened to your friend would happen to you.
I don't want to leave you here regardless.
And I appreciate that.
Okay. Hope is willing to do it.
Eric has been standing there.
Good.
What does it look like when Eric does this?
Maybe I don't
just sort
think
of-
it's much to do with the feather, but for some reason I want to say his eyes become fire.
I was going to say exactly the same thing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
He just sort of looks off into the middle distance and flames. Eric cares not from whence the tar flows. I just want to point out in chat, Soundboy says, "Do souls have faces?" Asking for a friend. Because Soundboy is one of my players on my Saturday games and plays a character who, when he kills somebody he disrespects, eats their face. Because he doesn't think they deserve faces to be remembered by.
Oh,
So
nice.
lizard folk.
Okay, that explains it a bit more. I'm like, what? A human?
Only slightly more.
Lizard folk
It's
ranger.
certainly a choice.
It's still a choice.
Still a choice,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah, no, he plays Slavesh very, very lizard folk. I kind of enjoy it, but it is, yes, the continual face. I keep face blocking him as well. I keep giving him enemies that don't have faces, or like the very first adventure he played, there was a whole they played Spirits of Morning, which was all the ghosts answering to it was the ghost adventure that Karen did with Zach and Jess, and the only thing they fought were ghosts, so he couldn't eat their faces.
No, that's a tragedy.
He was like, "No, they keep disappearing," and then he interacted with a knife, and it doesn't have a face either.
So basically, what I'm hearing is best type of enemy is any animal with multiple heads.
Yeah, he wants a Hydra, really. or a beholder. It's just
May
one
all
big
of
face.
your enemies have faces
Faces.
with which to consume.
Yeah. Anyway,
Let's continue on.
yeah. Hath says, "I'm probably should leave you now. They are coming."
Okay.
Right. Well, then we need to get everyone aware that the second Hope takes to the skies, they need to head for the exit.
I'll give you one final gift then. Everyone, these are my good friends, Kesh, Eric, Bron, and Julio. Listen to them. They will make you safe. Good luck. Be free. And Hath twinkles. Actually, no. Hath would walk away.
Can I have my hammer back?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, hammer's gone.
No, it's blessed by Hath, but it's
And-
also gone.
and then
But
as
it's
she
gone.
as she everybody sort of begins gathering and around you, she hands you the hammer back, Bron, and the 3 stars, the little constellation of stars that are on Kesh's cheek, 6 stars, is now imprinted upon the side of the hammerhead.
Actually, quite
He's
a lot, like,
trying
fist
not to
bump you,
fanboy.
'cause-
Hey, Cal.
Yeah. Found it.
Just finished work. Gross, dude. 5 more days, Cal. 5 more days, then you can go to Augusta and tell everybody to fuck off for a week. Hath turns and sort of gives Bron the hammer, and then hugs Bron. And then goes to leave.
Thank you.
Walks away.
Yeah.
And you feel, Kesh, you also feel a spirit hug as Hath is leaving, but Hath is walking away quite quickly. Like it's like they're in a bit, not in a rush, but like I need to not be here for much longer. My presence is actually a problem. I wish so too, buddy. So a group gather around you, and Borain, the Corvin man you met before, says, "We should listen to you. Hello, you're here.
Yes.
Sorry about all this. Do you know what's happened to you? As did Hath explain?
We're not technically dead yet.
Well, welcome to the party.
So we're not exactly going to send you all scouring back to life, but we're going to get you out of this kind of horrible, bleak environment with the hopes of a better long-term solution."
And there is
We're
sort of
here-
a ripple goes through the crowd.
We're here to bring you hope, but we're gonna have to run now. And I'm gonna send Hope out, soaring out like a phoenix.
Yeah.
In the
And there's
opposite direction.
ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a distraction because we need to head the other way so the plane's not
Right
looking.
now.
Quickly,
Right
quickly.
now.
Let's go.
Okay.
Pick up these heels, friends.
And Borain says, "What? You'll take it? We're leaving? All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
How? Everybody, gather. Let's go. There is nothing to gather." He was like, "Get your things. No, wait. Don't worry about that." It's an instinct. He's like, "Gather your. No, wait.
I don't have possessions here. I'm
we don't
dead.
we don't even have food."
We're
Hey,
heading towards a
DM.
portal out of here.
Yeah.
I want to cast Aura of Life, which is a
Ooh.
concentration spell that lasts for 10 minutes, but I don't want to incinerate all these people by healing them.
Mhm.
But I feel like
Mhm.
it's different to like a typical healing spell.
Yeah.
Like, let me read out the thing to you and you can let me know if it will be helpful or not.
Yeah.
Life-preserving energy radiates from you in an aura within a 30-foot radius. Until the spell ends, the aura moves with you. Each non-hostile creature in the aura has resistance to necrotic damage, and its hit point maximum can't be reduced. In addition, a non-hostile living creature regains 1 hit point when it starts its turn in the aura with 0 hit points.
They're not alive,
Hell
so
yeah.
they wouldn't be affected by that last bit. But the rest of it is non-help. It's not. None of this would help them, and therefore none of this would harm them.
The irony.
They would be resistant to death
Well,
magic. Functionally, what this
I
would
can't-
do
yeah.
is act as a kind of a broad aura shield against death things.
Cool.
Would be the way I would. So what you can see as you gather people around, those of you who go and take a quick look at the horizon, you do see things beginning to gather. Little wisps and spirits out in the dark, out in the plains are sort of gathering around. A lot of them, as Hope launches off, a fiery phoenix leading off into the sky in the opposite direction, a large number of them do pursue. These shades and shadows leap after her into the sky, and she is ducking, dodging, diving, dipping, and dodging to get away for all her life. But they are not all gone. They are not all taken in by this, but you have definitely thinned the numbers. However, this bright, and you are empowered by fire, so it is a bright, warm, glowing light that sort of shines from Eric. What does it look like when you cast the spell?
I
Incoming wrench.
think it starts off small. Just one talon is the tip of the talon is covered in fire, and I'm just gonna touch a point in space, and the fire is going to like burn away a bubble within the realm. So yeah, it kind of looks like reality is shifting, and
Awesome.
there's just wherever we're in the bubble, there isn't the death plane.
It is. It's kind of like a shimmering dome, kind of glows around you. Think Baldur's Gate 2 Act 2, but Baldur's Gate 3 Act 2. Sort of, the Last Light In esque. It's not doesn't make it immune, but it does make it a lot significantly harder. Shanahos, take care, you bloody champion. It's been an absolute pleasure watching today's stream, but I have to run off now, unfortunately. Hope your spirits be bright and your party pope be dope. Love it. Absolutely. Every party needs a pope. Plus, Orc Skull, thank you very much for the follow, you bloody champion. Avast, matey, you wee scallywag. Well, we're actually going to call it there, actually, ladies and gents. At the beginning of a chase sequence, we will call it there for the evening. Eric has just created this shield to protect you all from these spirits that are coming to claim the souls of the damned in the plane of death as you escort them back to the portal. Which is worryingly still there and still very much vagina-shaped. So,
The holiest of shapes.
most parties need dope too. Absolutely. Well, actually, Eric's on that. Bob's doing the dope. Guys, I think we need to. We'll call it there for the evening. But thank you very much for playing with me this evening. I hope you've had a good fun. We've cranked the number of deities met up to 3, and for some of you,
There I go meeting deities again.
I also today it wasn't actually this week, it was last week, and I did miss it. It's a milestone. Karen pipped Dan at the post last week for the most episodes in the Humblewood ever.
In your face, Dan.
It was 86 as Dan's record. Karen topped 87 last week. It is now 88. Very solid lead.
Consider the gauntlet
Seeing as Dan is not in the game anymore, Helvig's on the plane of fire, and hell, Bennick might be around here because that's where he was going. Was plane of death.
I like to think that off in the distance we could just hear
Oh shit! Wait.
peasants everywhere.
Can we get Dan in for a cameo next session?
We do need to.
Yes.
So he can maintain his one behind Karen. Brendan is also perilously close to the magic number as well. 2 away, Brendan.
68.
Two away. 1 away from 68. You're at 67 right now. And Kesh is at 77. No, 68 cash appearances. So next session will be the magic number. There you are. All right. So we should probably do our favorite moments, guys. Have a chat about the things that we did that were really, really good. Can I get a D5 in chat, please? Shazbacks with Riley, one shot with Riley, Shazlax, and the others. So I didn't get enough time, but I had intended Penelope to be in here as well.
Ooh.
And I'm pretty sure, Bishop Blood, that we've had Chloe. I don't know if you were here, but Chloe has been in. Chloe Hawthorne has been in the world. I think it was in a one shot. I think she's in Espinora. I got a 1. Dull.
Hey.
Absolute rubbish. What is this? No. Roll it again.
Fucking get him.
All right, DM. Favorite DM moments?
Having Hath just up.
Having Hath just show up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hath is
Yeah.
cool.
Like
Absolutely.
particularly knowing that like we'd mentioned Hath, but like we obviously didn't know that he didn't have Hath.
Yeah.
Turn up.
Um,
Yes.
I really enjoyed the description at the end. It's very cliffhangery, and I want to know what happens with the chase. It's cool. I'm super looking forward to next session because I really appreciate just how you described that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Take care, Soundboy. Thanks for joining us.
Just a bunch of dead people in a dome of fire.
Yeah, it looks super dope in my head. I really wish I had the
It
words.
is really cool.
I hope I did it justice enough that people could see what I'm, at least close to what I am seeing.
Yeah.
Also, Sally,
Sally?
creepy,
So creepy.
little. Oh, that
There's
was
nothing
a
creepier than a granny.
baby. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
That's on a shirt.
Oh.
Tara says,
This is-
my favorite being overall was the image of a little raccoon creature cuddling a hammer. Yeah, with his little raccoon hands.
Cute.
Yeah.
Cute.
I appreciated the lore dump that this session allowed for you.
Yeah.
It recontextualized a few things, at least for Eric. And yeah, that conversation with Hath, like, single-handedly changed Eric's mind about maintaining the balance to be like, nah, fuck it, let's get all these people out.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that was such a fun
It's
switch to
almost-
watch as well.
It's almost as if this is the same shit that Julio was saying the whole time, but Eric was like, "No, the Julio's a bitch and stupid." Interesting. Interesting.
I don't have a
He
feeling
maintains that.
Yeah.
there will be times-
Raleigh agrees.
no humble pie will be eaten.
I probably need a favourite self, don't I? It's even worse as Penelope I have ruled was a pangolin. We don't get her. Don't worry, she'll be there. She will come up because she is there, and you're about to take her back to the plane of
Yeah,
life.
we just haven't had a chance to
Yeah,
directly
it'll be
interact
fine.
with her yet. Yeah.
I kind of like Shazlax as well. Shazlax is a small skink like Telia. Shazlax, as the name was bought, is Shazlax the Large and Intimidating. So his name is actually Shazlax the Large, but he's not. But that's for reasons that may or may not become apparent later. My favorite thing was the detail about Borain Bitterground having a withered wing. Because, and I will give an insight into it because it's probably not going to be relevant. These people are, what you are seeing of them is just their own. There's a word for it in the Matrix. It's called residual self-image, and it's the way you imagine yourself rather than the way you actually are. So most of these people, obviously, if you died with injuries, you're not going to probably imagine yourself like that when if you're choosing what you look like. So Julio imagines himself with two eyes, thinks of himself as a two-eyed person, because he does, until very recently, had two eyes that actually worked and he could see out of. Whereas Borain has had a withered wing his entire life. It's kind of part of his personality. It's part of his identity. He is, much like Eric, he is a grounded bird folk. Doesn't fly, never has, can't. So it's kind of who he is, which is why he maintains it. Yeah.
Cool.
which I kind of liked. And
Nice.
Borain, Penelope, and Shazlax were all board NPCs. I was like, yes, an excuse to put them in. Fantastic. And then you never talk to any of them.
Sorry.
I did sense your frustration at like, hey guys, go to the village. I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
fuck.
Nah, it's a
took
stupid
literal
idea.
God. It took a literal God to be like, okay.
It's like, okay, fine.
You wouldn't have noticed Penny. I didn't mention her. Yeah, she's a pangolin bard who likes to keep people's spirits up. Acknowledges the joke though when she says that because they're all spirits. Yeah, cool. Alrighty, well that's my favorite moments. Thank you very much, everybody. You need a D4 in chat, please. Now, it's actually kind of a relief to be going first because now you don't have to be flattered any
the
further.
pressure's off.
Yeah. So exclamation mark, roll space, the number 4. There we are. A 1. Ha ha ha! Don't get me again. It's Daria now. Favorite Julio
Oh
moment.
shit.
Favorite Julio.
Mm.
Didn't much this episode. I was mostly trying to get people out, and that's it.
I liked you. So there was a point where Bron and Eric were agreeing, I don't think this is that great an idea, and Julio took on board their points of view and suggested a middle ground option that I thought was really good because Julio. I don't know if Julio would have taken the middle ground if it was just Eric. Or even just Bron. But hearing both of them coming from two very different directions seemed like Julio was like, alright, valid points. And yeah, the two of them managed to bring him around in a way that I don't think either one of them could have individually. That was kind of nice. To see Julio take the point. Because Julio is, I feel a little black and white as far as being the hero and being and getting people to Alderheart and all that as is goes somewhat. So I like that.
I love that Julio is totally chill at the idea of stuffing a bunch of souls into the Old Heart.
Oh, it would be dead set a point in the Alderheart's favor. It was like, oh, more God? Yeah, there you go. Num 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 num.
Just
Well,
just okay, cool, let's go. Put him in there.
That's exactly what Eric is thinking is, this is going to be great for the older heart, probably not for the souls.
It won't be
but
any
he
worse,
didn't bother-
and it will be nice.
They're already fucked, most of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he didn't bother making the argument because he didn't think that would convince Julio.
Yeah, valid.
Hey, if
Such a good apostle.
Shazlax is still a live body is with Raleigh, so presumably he'll just bounce back into his body. Then we can be like, hey, bring Raleigh to the Older Heart.
You have 3 days.
You have 3 days to get Raleigh's body to the Older Heart.
We will reimburse you for any teleportation costs.
Yeah. What are you doing in the desert, I wonder? What the fuck?
Dying, obviously.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
drowning.
Touching dangerous things in caves.
Drowning was suggested in chat.
Drowning in sand.
Neither Julio nor Bron can be mad at Raleigh for touching dangerous things in caves.
That's fair.
Yeah, mine was probably just the continued insistence that we save as many people as possible. And I do agree with Josh that Julio's approach can appear as black and white, but what I think it is from Julio's perspective is just a lot of humanity and always wanting to do the right thing regardless of the consequences.
Yeah. Yeah, chaotic good. It's literally doing the right thing, and I don't care how many people I have to kill along the way.
I love peace with all my heart. I'll kill as many people as I have to get it.
I think my favorite Julio moment was just the speed at which Julio turned around to being okay with the souls in the tree. Like, not just the fact that it was, but it was like,
sure.
I think Bron mentioned it once, and Julio was like, all right.
Shit, yeah.
That works.
I was expecting to have to convince Julio, but then as soon as you just turned around immediately, I was like, oh yeah, of course.
No, he
Julio
will like this. Yeah.
Yeah, Julio would love this. I should have picked this up earlier.
I like that, Bishop Blood. I will do the right thing, and I don't care how much I happen to benefit from it.
Honestly, yep. That's exactly it.
That is Julio. Yeah, absolutely.
Vibes.
Favorite self?
Character itself, I liked the dynamic with Raleigh and how it's obviously like not like Romeo Juliet, like, oh, we still love each other, but they clearly like know each other pretty well.
I think they were
And
friends
I enjoy
before
that.
they became boyfriend and girlfriend, and I think
Exactly.
they've fallen back into the friend dynamic quite well.
Mm-hmm.
They still
Yep.
care. I
Yep.
think she still cares for you. That's the trick. Because as I recall, you like the law is that Julio left, and Raleigh didn't.
Yep.
I think Raleigh
Yep.
was
Yep.
going to and couldn't, as I
I
recall.
don't
I'm gonna have to
remember.
rewatch
I
the
know
app.
that, yeah, she was definitely like, you left, and Julio was like, I couldn't do this any longer. I
Hmm.
couldn't stay a pirate. So
And she wound
I
up
think
as
her
Scops'
morals,
first mate.
yeah, her morals were a bit more bendy
Yeah,
than Julio's. So
yeah.
that was the reason.
Neither one to mention the breakup. Well, yeah, it wasn't so much a breakup. He left, and I think he wanted her to go with him, but she didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they will probably have to have that conversation, and hopefully not while she is a walking deep fat frog.
At some point.
Well, now they have to have it while she's a sentient deep vertebrate.
With
It
a
is
gun.
It is possible to be friends with your ex. I had an ex in high school that I was very good friends with for a number of years. We've lost contact the last decade or so, but yeah, no, it is eminently possible, particularly if the relationship wasn't overly long. I don't know how we'd go.
I'm just an antisocial little house gremlin. That would be the main barrier. You're not in the house with me, you know.
Yeah, well, there is that. I probably wouldn't see you, but it depends on the situation, the breakup as well.
Yeah,
Anyway,
why did we break up? What did you do?
hey, probably.
This is a
Let's be
weird
honest.
thing to be to be thinking
This
about.
is how comfortable we are in the relationship. Like there's essentially zero chance of this happening. So
What
let's
have you been doing,
Can
Joshua?
we get a poll going in chat whether or not chat thinks you'll stay as friends?
Oh, probably not.
Refuse to break her teeth.
But I'll need friends
Yeah.
because my dad will stop talking.
That's not as funny as
It's
you
not. It's
should.
not
That's not
funny
a
at
joke.
all. That's not a joke. I retract that.
It's 'cause-
And I'm not explaining it either.
Okay, I won't either. She does have bunnies. They're a nightmare. One of them pissed on me a couple of days ago.
Look, I maintained that he probably just needed to pee, and you interrupted.
Fucking
that process.
bullshit. He was nowhere near his piss bowl.
Oh, maybe he was just sitting there thinking about how much he needed to pee.
And then I pick him up and he's like, I'm going to do it now. And I'm like, no, you know where you're supposed to do this. Little fucker. And it was a lot. Like, that was the only reason that maybe have any credence at all.
The cursing.
He knew. I reckon he knew. Any other favourite Dario moments?
Dara's
We
always
already
great.
had my favorite, so
Okay,
I think it's done.
very well.
Well.
You didn't do your own? You did a favourite yourself?
No, I did.
Okay,
I
okay.
did.
All right, very well then. We need a D3, please.
The piss bowl is the worst name for anything.
Well, it's more of a tray. I apologise. A
It's like a dust
3.
bowl.
Yeah, a 3. That would be Eric. Favourite Brendan moments, everybody.
Obviously, the fucking fire elemental distraction. Oh, so badass.
That was
So
solid
cool.
play. I didn't know how you were going to do it. That's a good way. I like it. And it
Yeah.
gives me a chance to keep Eric's soul trapped in the death plane.
Oh no! See,
How
Kesh's plan was big boom, but I like this better.
It's good. I'm going to double down on that one. The aura of life, leaning in on this is not how the spell works, but let's try it anyway. Hecking cool. Love it. Yes, absolutely.
Little things, but like the flames in his eyes when he's internally talking to Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna continue a theme here, but the description of the fire shield was fucking cool.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it just really brought it all to life in a really real way. It was like, that's awesome.
NPC Bishop says NPC as a derogatory insult.
There's a YouTuber I watch who sells T-shirts that say
I'm not an
supporting character energy. And I'm like, yes.
Wow. Sometimes I don't have the energy for a main role.
Yeah, I'm just there to back up.
Yep.
And the comedic breaks in between the drama.
I do have another
Oh.
Brendan moment, but
I feel
any
that.
others? Save yourself, Brendan.
The being the voice of wisdom, as Hath put it, of just laying out all the potential things that could go wrong while still being open to being convinced otherwise.
Mhm.
It didn't feel, I didn't feel like Eric was stubbornly refusing, just that Eric was saying, look, before we rush into this decision, consider this and this and this.
Yeah.
And then the fact that that he was swayed by Hath, of all things. Because what could give a eternally anxious, concerned person more stability and certainty than an Aberynthine?
And talking to a star sign.
Mm.
Yeah.
Having your front teeth knocked out.
Apparently. In the short term, no.
In
It
long
took,
term.
it took several years for him
Long
to come back
term.
from that. They were in their 30s when they did the flying.
Okay.
Um,
That's a long-term
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah, I was actually going to, my second was going to be something along those, being convincible, basically. Because a lot of players, when they decide, no, that's not what my character would do, they decide.
Like
And
Eric always has logic behind his decisions. He's thought it through, and he was like, no,
That tracks.
that train of logic tracks. Let's leave the station. This works.
Yeah.
And it's always cool to see him do that, because sometimes you're like, he's not going to go for it, and then you're like, no, of course he's going to go for it. It makes sense now.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense before. It was a dumb idea before, but now.
Alrighty. Well, that's favorite Eric moments. Let's do favorite Bron or favorite Cash. Roll D2, please.
I thought of a belated Josh favorite moment. You just sledging the rest of us, saying that Eric was the intelligent one of the group.
Yes. I mean, he's not
Fucking
wrong.
Savage.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's
stats-wise, maybe he is wrong.
Yeah.
This is a really smart group compared to the other one, where only one character even has an even intelligence. Everybody else has negative. I think it's Smoothie has like a 10. And everybody else, no, Smoothie's, what am I talking about? Smoothie's like a 7. I think it was Trish. Trish has a reasonable intelligence, but the rest of them are 8 or below.
Oh my god.
I think that means they can't read or write.
He,
to the
he
player's
can't
handbook.
read. Canonically, he can't read. He is smart enough to, but he
Yeah.
can't. I think it might be 8. And Esmeralda is there now, and she's an artificer, so hers is very high. But yes, there was a point when no one in the party had an intelligence above 10.
Amazing.
Selenox is also not the brightest spark in the firmament. But we have rolled a 2, so that's Karen. Favorite Karen moments, everybody.
Immediately. Yes, you, old woman, answer Julio's questions.
Yeah, very good.
Just the instant switch between, are they real? They are. Quick, interrogate them. Amazing.
Old
Following on
woman,
from
man. I'm 37.
Following on from that, the immediate scolding of Eric when he asked, "What are you?"
Yes.
Dude.
And Cash, I was going to.
I'm going to be a little bit more politic about that, but yeah, all right, valid.
Yeah.
I want to know too, though.
Same question, but politer.
Bishop Blood says, and I'm not
Also-
sure if I want to repeat this live.
Yes.
Favorite Karen,
Um,
those slutty nostrils.
The
I don't
slutty
think
nostrils.
my nostrils have ever been described as.
I don't know if anyone's ever described nostrils as slutty before.
Oh,
No, someone did.
Oh,
Come
no.
on.
I'm really pulling the
Let's-
dudes with my slutty nostrils.
Let's get up a compilation on YouTube of Karen's slutty nostrils.
She brings all the boys to the backyard with her nostrils. Is it a callback? What is it to you? My favorite Karen
Oh.
moments. playing into that previous relationship with Hath was really
Yes.
nice. And yeah, I really enjoyed being Hath with you, and yeah, there you have a subtlety to your performance that I really like, in the pointing at the cheek moment. Oh yeah, this guy. Yeah,
A star friend.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's cute.
Also saying, "Oh yeah, we got a vagina portal over there. We're good." I love that.
Oh,
It's canon.
and Raleigh going to Cash, or like, Cash, back me up, please. Can we not describe this as?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Cash is the one that did it.
Oh
my God, that-
Chat did it. It's not my fault.
Favorite self? Bishop Blood's actual favorite moment was I loved how nervous Cash got. Such a cutie. Yeah.
She was really worried for a minute there. I was like, what the fuck are we gonna do? I had one. Now it's out of my brain. On the wall. On the wall. I don't know what I'm talking about. Dear God.
It's grown 4 legs and is running around with a bunch of
Skittering
tentacles
away.
sticking out of it.
I
Join us.
It's silly, but I kind of like how Kesh was like a distraction, eh? How big an explosion could Steven set up? And then Eric's like, or, yeah.
It's like, don't we need that for me?
It's like, oh yeah.
How many more deep fryers have you got?
Not
See, like,
enough.
Tom gets a bit of crap for like coming up with silly ideas, but also most of the time he's just actuating the other
depends.
people's silly
It
ideas.
depends.
So...
Like you throw enough brains at a wall, some of them are going to stick. So yeah, we've done Karen's favorite moments. Let's talk about Bron's favorite moments. So I'm going to jump straight in with what about the Alderheart?
Mm-hmm.
Solid, and I was like, yes, because Hath would have brought it up. But I'm glad I didn't have to. I was like, yay! I didn't have to dump that in there. I like it when you guys come up with the really good ideas that I have already come up with, but I'm just like, no. It's cooler if you guys have them.
You refused to spoon feed us.
I didn't want to. Yeah, I could, and I would have, but I didn't want to. I did mention Barovia as an option, but you guys had already thought of the other better option, so I was like, okay, yeah. They're not going to go for this, but it would be neat to mention it.
It's a cool bit of lore, because I didn't know that there was like not enough souls, and apparently souls are not like essential for life. That was really cool.
It's in the
stuff.
book.
You can exist without a soul. You just
Yeah.
have a really shit sense of humor.
It's really gross.
Which, frankly, explains a lot.
yeah,
Same.
there are children there that don't laugh.
Wow.
And it's just like, that's creepy as fuck. That's probably the creepiest thing. Yeah.
It's just working in customer service for too long.
And it's presented in
Existing
the book
without a
as not
soul.
even. It's presented in the book as not even necessarily being a problem. It's just like a fact of living there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't
which
get a soul.
Just
But-
increases.
Just how creepy
Yeah.
and unpleasant the whole place is. And about 40% of the time when you have a baby, it doesn't come with one.
Like, oh man, you're like, you're having a kid and you're like, come on,
So
soul!
seriously, find an old person and knock them off, right? Just before. Just like, okay, we need a spare one to be
Okay.
around. And we're like, well, that she's pretty.
I like to think it would more be old people would volunteer to be bonked before like their grandkid was born or whatever. So we've got to make sure little Timmy gets a soul.
It's a little bit weird, isn't it? Because like my mother is I don't know if she still is, but she was at a different point in her life very confident that her grandfather and my youngest brother share a soul. Hugh was, I believe, conceived relatively around the same time.
This is like the theory that Queen Elizabeth is going to be reincarnated as Trisha Paytas' baby. Because the Queen died and Trisha Paytas, who's a YouTuber, had a baby on the same day, and everyone's like,
Oh yeah,
As did
reincarnation.
millions of other women. Like,
Nope,
But
only
it's
her.
funnier.
She's
if
actually
it was
reincarnated as as a little boy in India. It's weird, but it's fortunately the child has no memory of this.
The Queen needed
favorite-
a famous person to reincarnate as
Yeah.
the child of.
Dead set.
Really, we should be
Yeah.
thanking our lucky stars that one of the ridiculously fertile Kardashians wasn't popping one out.
Different kind of
okay.
queen. Let's
Um,
not. Yeah. Favorite.
Anyway,
favorite Bron.
My favorite Bron was it's somewhat selfish, but and it's not necessarily the first time that he's done it, but probably the most significant time that Bron has sided with Eric against Julio on and Josh, you spoke about it a bit before, but coming to it with his own background and concerns, but basically the same concerns or mirrored concerns as Eric made Eric feel very validated in a way that he doesn't expect Kesh to do, because Kesh is so often put in the position of being neutral and having to make the decisions or be the tiebreaker. So
Boys.
I thought that was very cool. And
cool.
I've said this kind of before, but I am really glad that Bron is his own character and not just I'm Julio's friend, therefore I will unquestionably agree with Julio at every point.
Exactly.
Which is honestly bad
really
friend
appreciate that.
behavior. Can I get a refund on this bitch?
Toxic.
What's up?
Fucking toxic.
Toxic.
Like, you ever meet someone, I'm like, wow, no one ever disagrees with you, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
You've never tasted disagreement, and it shows.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone should taste disagreement and rejection. Stronger.
Yeah, Bron sided against Julio and their friendship is as strong as ever. Yeah, only a true friend will rib you, but also only a true friend will tell you when you're fucking wrong. Call you out on your shit.
True friends tell you when you're being an asshole.
And a true friend would listen to them.
The real truth.
Or at least be open to a discussion about it. Like, if you think I'm being an asshole, please tell me so that I can become a better friend and I can maybe stop being an asshole. And if I think you're wrong, I'll tell you.
That's the person who you should trust when they call you an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
As long as, and I want to
they-
make this very clear, they tell you in a night, like they don't, it's like, hey, you fucking idiot, you're being an asshole. That's not a friend. It's like, hey, you're being an asshole.
Like, maybe.
It's really hard, though.
It is hard. It is
very
a hard
hard to
thing to
be,
do.
when someone is being an asshole, to go, hey. The instinct is to go, hey, you're being an asshole. Yeah. Anyway, life advice aside, Bron is good friend. Julio, not an asshole. Usually. Do I have lettuce in my teeth? Better knock them out.
I love Bron. Like Julio being chill with stuffing souls in the older heart, Bron was also really chill about stuffing a soul into his walking deep fry.
Yeah.
If anything, this will improve it, right?
It's like, yeah, we can put it in Steven. That'd be fine.
I had no idea Steven would become so plot relevant. I was like, holy shit.
Me too.
I mean, if you put Raleigh in there, you won't need to reload the gun anymore. It'll just work.
And I like
firing bits of
Not
Raleigh.
that we're ever going to fire it.
No.
No. I like to think that every time you fire it, if it's powered by Raleigh, like every time it fires, instead of going bang, you get like a Raleigh insult.
Julio's so stupid. Look at his faded face.
Don't have that conversation about who left who while Riley is
there is
inside
that.
the gun.
And a deep fat fryer.
Yes, the boomstick is finally fired because Julio is like, well, it's kind of your fault. What is that? My fault.
Julio. Bishop Blood says, Karen, I love that cute hat.
Thank you.
We fixed the camera in the break. It was a simple
Yes.
matter of unplugging
Yes.
it and plugging it back in
Yes,
again.
we turned it on and off again, so you can admire my witch hat in focus.
We did the hard reset instead
Yeah.
of the soft reset. Right. Any other favorite Bron moments? Bron, favorite self?
I think getting to meet Half, like I'm sure nobody knows this, but like on my character sheet, I went, I don't think Bron likes Kren. This is before anything started. Just decided Bron didn't like Kren. And what was the other god of like making things? Well, Half. And like it's cool. He got to meet his god that he chose against normal choices, I guess. Normal race choices. Yeah.
It's following the deity of your of your race type is not super common, but like it's the standard, but it's not by any means like not all people who worship Gesmi are Corvum. You'd probably expect about a third of the priests of Gesmi to be Corvum. Like there would be a preponderance, but no means even a majority. Yeah, but yeah, it still very much flies in the face. Like, not a lot of Vulpins pay heed to Kren. Not a lot of anybody pay heed to Kren. Hath is also not a particularly popular Amaranthine to worship.
More's the pity. He's
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Why?
In
Because,
terms
like,
of
he's
canonically
so
in the
beloved
book,
by everyone.
they are the Mapatch do sort of love them, but they're rather aloof. They're rather a distant, neutral deity. And they may intervene on an individual level, but they won't on sort of large socioeconomic issues. Yeah.
So yeah, I think the hammer was great, and I'm so glad that Hath went along with it. It was fantastic.
Oh yeah, that was so cute.
Yeah. It has no special properties. I want to be clear.
No,
It just
that's
looks
all right.
cool.
But I didn't think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, Gaspard is very involved, but Gaspard is the Amaranthine of the Jobines, and Jobines are all about community and family and friendship and togetherness. So Gaspard is there. He is aligned with the Fireplane, and he kind of lives there a bit, but he's actually mostly on the material. He is an involved deity, probably more so than a lot of them would like.
I like to
he
imagine
cops a bit of flack from it.
I like to imagine Gaspard just hanging out, watching Joe Beans going, stab, stab.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Alrighty. Well, we should go away from here now because we've been streaming for a gosh darn while, and it's 1 o'clock where John is. So, we should, say goodbye to everybody. Guys, who the absolute heck have you been this evening? Brendan, who the heck are you? Stab.
I am a very pretty, lovely boy.
True.
Yes, you are.
Magical girl.
Yes. I'm a pretty little baby. I'm Brendan. I'm a director and an actor, and I'm getting kooky.
Yes, it's getting late.
Yeah.
Apologies for the late start time tonight. We will be back to the 6:30 start time next week. Karen and I both had to work. Karen, who the heck are you?
Hello, I am Karen, and I'm still going to get you, my pretties, and your little dogs too, so I can cuddle them. You can find me here usually on Tuesday nights playing video games. More Wildermyth coming on Tuesday, as long as I don't get another massive headache.
And after that, it will be Slay the Princess.
Yeah.
Which I discovered
Josh is
today.
gonna slay the princess, so we're gonna do that
Good.
next. It's gonna be exciting. Yeah, come hang. It's a good time. I'm just gonna quickly give you a look at the witch makeup you couldn't appreciate at the beginning because I was all blurry. Yeah, it's a bit sweaty, but it's cool. And yeah, this is my yearly witching. Enjoy. And
Nice.
good night.
John, who the heck are you?
I'm John. I've been a performer for a long time. Yeah, and I'm tired because it's late.
Valid. Daria.
I'm Daria, and I'm literally just a girl. So I'm an artist. I'm playing Julio, and I'm excited to see what happens next session.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just anything. And I be Josh the Pirate. And I'm literally just a pirate. And you can find me here on my channel, Corsair's Cove, where I play D&D and other RPG-related games. I didn't like the way that sounded, even as I said it.
That was awful.
I'm
Nor
gonna
should
be-
have you,
Ditto.
ma'am.
I'm going to be a pirate again on Saturday at Elizabeth Quay in the city in Perth. If you want to come down, bring your kids. I'm going to be Captain Hook, running the coin toss thing. The quoit toss thing.
I'll be in a barrel.
Karen will be in a barrel. A quoit is a little rope ring. They used to play it as a deck game on ships. And you have to get them on a stick, and you get points depending on the stick you manage to get it on. It's actually surprisingly difficult. But it's really good if you're very, very bored on a boat for an extended period of time. So yeah. And the kids win
Also
prizes.
sounds like a euphemism.
It isn't in this instance. Next week, Karen and I have quite a busy week of streaming. We will be here on Tuesday night playing Wildermyth. Then, and I will be painting a massive Gribbly unless I finished it by then. And then on Wednesday we will be over on Phoenix Iwaki for the meals for charity run thing.
I can't remember what the charity's called. I just know we're playing Honey Heist.
We're playing Honey Heist, and we're playing it with Grant fucking Howitt as the DM. As in, the guy who designed it. Also, the person who wrote Jason Statham's Big Vacation. I am exceptionally excited. Grant Howitt is one of the most prolific indie game developers of the last decade.
We will be fangirling.
He is DMing, and I'm like, what the fuck? How did you score this, Phoenix? Phoenix, I don't know how he does it. But he is friends with a lot of people, and I don't know how. But it's very cool, and I'm really impressed by it, and I'm super excited. Massive Gribbly is a euphemism. And then on Thursday night, back here. And then on Friday night, we're going to be over on the Law Rights channel for the start of a new Vaesen adventure.
Yay!
And then on Saturday, we will sleep. So, yeah.
This is how you can tell I've been sweating all day.
Siri is cleaning you.
She's cleaning you.
We are supported by a couple of wonderful organisations. Troll Games and Wooten Forge. Wooten Forge do this. Troll Games do Castles and Crusades. They're both great. You should check them out. Links are in chat. Wooden Forge there. And Troll Lord Games there. Check out either one, support them because they support us, and everybody loves a bit of support. Good on you, champions. We will go away from here now, and we need to find somebody to raid.
Before Siri
licks all of the paint off.
I don't know if this makeup is healthy for you to be ingesting.
Who we got? We've got Eldorian Tales. Shadows of Faith, episode 2. Ooh. We will drop a raid on Eldorian Tales then. We will be back same Tuesday, same bad time, same bad channel. Probably 6 p.m, maybe 6:30, somewhere around that point.
Somewhere between 6 and 6:30, whenever
I
belatedly
remember / wake up.
I'm meant to be started.
Alrighty. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Whee!